all I'm gonna launch in with is when we left off. When we left off, you'd entered a werewolf den. You started clearing it out. This is, in terms of you, that is Brungrik, Damian, Valkyn, Barwolf, and Reman with Esmeralda. You'd entered the werewolf den. You started clearing it out. You started killing left, right, and centre. And one of the female werewolves was there with an infant, a young chap called Kellen. You stopped fighting so that they could parley with you, and they told you a story of Kirill, the leader of the werewolf clan, how he is going through the mists to bring children to fight each other in a sort of gladiatorial style. They said, "Look, we're out, we're done. Let us free, and we'll go." You let them free. There were a handful of children in there. I think there were sort of 7 or 8 children, including Kellen. You cured Kellen of his lycanthropy, and then a raven descended. Turned out to be a were-raven, which Brungrik seems to have some kind of connection with that you haven't got to the bottom of yet. And they offered to look after the children, and off they went. And the plan was for you guys to ambush Kirill and the rest of the pack when they return. So you are currently inside the werewolf den. So it was Zulika and Wisentia and a few other. There was a Bianca as well. The werewolves have left. They've said we're going to go to the far corner of the forest, right at the edge of Barovia, and we're going to wait it out in the wilds. They don't want anything to do with it. And you're in the cave by yourself. The cave is pretty much deserted. You've managed to scope it all out. So let me take you to the actual map itself, because it might be helpful to give you a description of kind of where you are. So this is the entrance to the cave here. This is where the sentry was looking out. There's an opening to the top that's dripping water through here. There were bundles of clothes and rags and things in the crates there. This is where almost everyone was sleeping. That's where there was a chamber, and there was a lot of coin there. There were a few other things, but those other things seem to have gone missing, and it's just the coin that's still there. There was, at the back of the cave, there's this circular rise just here, which ends in the worst secret door you've ever seen. And the secret door appears here, and that's on top of the cliff. And that's a gladiatorial pit where the children fought each other to see who was going to win. So apologies to Lars, you're not there at the minute, so we'll bring you in when we have chance to. But you're still on the same day that you've decided to let the kids go. I forget what time of day it is, so what we'll say is in fact, I believe it was just gone midnight. I think you'd approached during. Go on, Sam.
Andy knew the time because of his zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the notes.
Like you're furiously looking for your notes there.
Can I just get every character's name just so I could just write them down?
Yeah.
You're obviously on the screen, but
the one most important character's missing. I've just noticed.
Damian. Who's Brungrik?
I'm Brungrik, the dwarven cleric, with an anger management issue that Dave exploits.
I've got 9 o'clock in the morning, Dave. I've got
9 o'clock in the morning. Sounds, that's fine by me.
And then who's Damian Gwilym?
Yeah, that's me.
Jake. And what's Damian?
He's a kinky bitch. He's a human fighter monk.
He's an Indiana Jones wannabe.
He's better than Indiana Jones.
Who's Reman?
That'd be me.
What's he?
I'm a Shardakai wizard.
Wizard.
I walk between the planes
Who's Beowulf
Until I got-
real?
until I got
That's
stuck
me.
here.
Who said me? Lewis.
Yeah.
And what's Beowulf?
He's a blood hunter. I think.
Yeah. You're human, aren't you?
There's
Yeah.
2 more characters. So Valkyn, which one are you? Esmeralda.
That's me, mate.
Oh, Esmeralda's an NPC.
Right. I didn't think Johnson was Esmeralda for some reason.
We've not gone that deep with the roleplay yet.
I want to hear his voice.
Okay, happy with that, Lars?
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah. So 9 o'clock in the morning. Still on the same day. You what do you want to do? Where do you want to take the session?
Dave, just so you, I've got 5 hours of my mage armor left.
Smash it.
If I remember rightly, the initial plan was we were going to wait for the pack to return, weren't we? And then we were going to devise a plan on how we were going to handle them, whether it was an ambush, a challenge to single combat. Please correct me if anyone remembers what we actually decided.
Yeah, we were waiting for the werewolf leader, weren't we? Because he's like a proper
He's a
what's
proper
the name? He's like a
lieutenant,
puppet of Strahd, isn't he? So, what's the werewolf, the lady werewolf that we saw that said like she wouldn't remove a curse, said that he's essentially that he could will them to do something that they didn't want to do, i.e., attack us, and then he could. He's also like a puppet for Strahd, so he's bringing the kids in for Strahd, isn't he?
Yeah.
And his own entertainment.
If we challenge him to single combat, is that one of us against leader? Is that
Yeah.
all of us against the leader? Because that doesn't sound very.
So I did have a bit of a plan because I think if I remember rightly, there was a debate whether me or Lewis would take him on, and I think me and Lewis may have spoke about it after the session. And I suggested that if I was to challenge him, I was going to try and sneakily remove the lycanthropy curse and take him on as a human.
Surely that would work better if Lewis was fighting,
Yeah.
though, because you could then do remove curse whilst Lewis was in the middle of the fight.
You have to touch.
Because I said I could pull my whole werewolf transition thing, couldn't I? Go into a werewolf and fight him like that.
Or Lewis would fight him as a werewolf.
Yeah, I believe that was the plan.
I can try and get my other army up and running after Rillik died. I wonder if that sex doll's still being made in that shop that I paid for. Do you remember?
That's a different
Oh,
story.
Lars, you've missed out on so much stuff, mate.
Dave, I can't find Matt Damon.
He's there. He is there. I think I turned your halos off, didn't I? Let me turn. I'll give Bat Damon a blue halo. There you go.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
I always feel sorry for you, Lewis, because when Rillik died, it was kind of overshadowed by Niloren's death, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think he ever really got the appreciation he was due.
It's true. Have you still got Rillik's character sheet? Did you keep him on D&D Beyond?
Yeah, I've got him. Yeah.
Yeah, because I kept all the others and just deactivated them, but because Rillik was the first character that I killed on D&D Beyond, and I removed him from the campaign. I'll get you to set it up again so I can. It's not like a tally, so I can keep a track of who I've
Honours
killed.
list.
I'd definitely make another one. Put it that way. And I think I'd go down a different route next time.
But
He's got notches in his desk, hasn't he?
So you've got a basic plan. how are you going to secure the cave? What did you want to do to plan to? Because you've got a wait ahead of you.
We can stick my zombies down in front of the cave with instruction to not let anyone in.
Traps? How about traps?
Has anybody got any traps? Because I know sometimes some of the adventure packs / dungeoneer kits / hunter kits come with things like bear traps and things like that.
Looking.
It's a shame you ain't got the sex doll. You could just put that in the mouth of the cave, ready to just throw them off as they come in.
Is there no? Now I could be mixing up games. Was there any caltrops? Did we not pick some up, or was that a different game?
That was
Sunless.
last game.
That was sunless.
It's a shame.
Many games on the go. Can we not fashion a trap out of stuff that we already have, or do we have to actually have traps in our inventory?
I mean, ideally, whatever we use to build some form of trap needs to be contain either silver or magic, because otherwise it's not going to do diddly squat for him.
I mean,
We got any holy water?
yeah,
I think I've got some.
some holy
Will
water.
that have any effect against
javelin,
werewolves, Dave? Or am I thinking
silver?
that's vampires? It's silver, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got some
Yeah.
javelins that we could potentially knock together with some wood to make a barricade. Is rope in the bag of holding, Jake? Because you've got the bag of holding now, haven't you?
I'm just having a quick flick through.
Because I've got a feeling I put a spear in there or a javelin in there.
So there's a heavy crossbow, half plate, a bullseye lantern, manacles, mess kit, potions, various potions of healing. There's one spear in it.
Hmm.
It's got a vial of werewolf blood.
I was just thinking, could we make like a? I can't think what they're called, but you know, sort of like an X-shaped barricade with the javelins and the spears, and was there not some like crates and stuff we could potentially break up to?
Yeah, there's wood inside.
build
There's
together?
the cages inside are quite solid wood built cages, so you'd be able to do something with those. And the three zombies could make a decent amount of noise if they were attacked. Is another option. You've got two entrances to protect. If you're staying inside the cave complex, you've got the mouth, the wolf mouth, and then on top of the cliff itself, with this secret door at the back leading here, is a second one. So whatever you want to do with that.
Just a thought. Is there any like? Because I was just thinking, could we dress the zombies up and make them look like they're raiders rather than that they look like zombies?
Got visions of zombies dressed up like Mrs. Nesbit of Toy Story. One arm, big frilly hat, flowery dress.
I can send. Say again.
You got any spells like create stone or anything like that?
No. I can. What's that one? No. I can cover one entrance with my zombies, and then I can send back Damon up to the other one, and then use my trance abilities and that, and you just see and hear through back Damon.
Very, very silly question. I don't know the answer to it. Can you create like silver shavings from something silver?
Yeah.
Because I've got an alchemy kit. Why don't we like do something really sneaky? Like if they've got any water or something and poison the water supply with silver flecks.
Well, strictly speaking, because you mentioned holy water. Holy water traditionally wouldn't affect werewolves, except for the fact that holy water has silvered powder in it as part of its reagent. So, yeah, you could do that. I mean, in terms of water, the only thing I'd say to you though is if they're using this pool of water, it's quite a deep, substantial pool. You'd have to put an absolute fuck ton of silver in there to make it effective.
Took all your money in.
Yeah.
How much silver's Valkyn got in his pockets?
I mean, I can't remember what stuff that they didn't have any like wine or beer or anything like that, did we? That we could just like lace that with, or I can't remember.
No, not really. In the crates, it was rags, just changes of clothes. That you got the impression that they wore the clothes were for the hybrid form, for humanoid form, but most of the time they're either in wolf or hybrid form, so they don't need the clothes. So they're just spare rags, basically.
I
think I've
do. Have
I
a
think I've got an
spell.
idea.
Oh,
Go on,
sorry,
Ant.
go on, Jake.
We've got 2 potions of gaseous form. What about if we go with that similar approach as to what you said? If we have a one-on-one challenge fight, but if Sam casts gaseous form on himself, you can turn into a misty cloud, so you wouldn't even be there, and then you could drop into the fight, touch him, break the curse, and then we'll kill him easier. Like, so we almost start it off as this fair fight, and then we'll just jump him when he's back in human form.
Or we just do the fight naturally and just have a plan B.
But we've got 2 potions of gaseous form, and I can't really think of what we're really going to use them for.
Damian would
Other than
know
to get
from his Van Richten research that werewolves, there's kind of 2 different types of werewolves. One is you're bitten and you contract lycanthropy, or you're born as a werewolf. If you're born as a werewolf, removing the curse won't work. You are a werewolf. It's your nature.
Okay.
And
we.
So this is time dependent, but if we can get in a long rest, I've got I can't remember what the spell's called now. I've just looked at it. Stone shape, so I could potentially seal the door upstairs. So they can't get in behind us. Then we just guard the entrance and just do stag on sentry duty for those non-military slang familiar.
what was the slang?
Stag on.
Stag on.
Stag, like the deer.
Oh.
Stag on.
No, never heard it.
Stag on? Yeah, it's just like a guard duty.
There he is.
Valkyn's got to have some form of crafty trick up his sleeve.
I'm lucky, mate. I've not got a lot, really.
This werewolf's not considered undead or a construct, is he?
No, he's humanoid, I think, or monstrosity. Yeah, humanoid.
Most of my tools are geared towards breaking in and stealing stuff. Yeah.
If you wanted just to throw a meta at you for a second, if you wanted to construct some kind of trap, it would be a survival check. If you have the luxury of time, I'd be quite happy for someone to assist for whoever has the highest survival stat to have advantage if everyone chips in. See if you can rig something up.
See, I want to fight him one-on-one, fair and square.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking more defending our position so we can't be snuck up on.
They'd have to climb the mountain, though, wouldn't they? That's the only other way in. And when we had a look at that last time, they said, it's a bugger of a climb, isn't it? They're not going to do it quick.
No.
We've got to remember he's a werewolf. He's going to be much better over the terrain than we are, like staggering up it, if that makes sense. Like, he does this all the time. Like, he knows what his ways in and out are. And I think all in all, like, fighting in one-on-one is a good shout to a degree, if we're going to use it as a ruse. But I think if anybody in this party fights in 1-on-1, you're going to come out the loser.
Yeah.
He'll hit hard as fucking nails.
Yeah.
We buff.
I don't think he's just your standard werewolf grunt either. I think we'd struggle 1-on-1 versus a single werewolf, let alone like this juiced up leader.
Isn't he that fucker that I shot with an arrow when I had what's his face?
Yeah,
when I first appeared.
Yeah, you've met Kirill already.
We scared him off, didn't we?
You did, but you had Silver as well.
Yeah. See,
just to keep it simple.
That's the other thing as well. Obviously, sorry for talking over everybody, but if I'm in werewolf form as well and he's in werewolf form, surely same principles are going to apply, isn't it? It's going to be like a strength contest rather than like a...
You're not a proper werewolf though, Lewis. Like, blood hunters don't go like full werewolf when they're hybrid. It's almost like the werewolf's like the werewolf from Van Helsing. You're like more like the werewolf from, like, say, the Wolfman. Like, you're only like you're almost like part werewolf, not a full. When you're in hybrid form, you're not like a full werewolf. It's almost like you're a cross between the two.
What were your thoughts, Johnson? You looked like you wanted to say something.
I was just thinking, just an ambush, a simple ambush. That's pretty much where we were, but it's a fairly narrow bottleneck where we are. Just to sort of hide out of sight behind these walls somehow. They don't see us around the edge of the walls, and then just hit him hard.
What about if we ask our gods for some kind of boon?
How honest do you want to be, Lewis?
This character's quite honest. He's like very honourable, isn't he? He's like a little bit like a samurai, isn't he? Japanese samurai, very honourable, wants to do things the right way. He doesn't like people that do things the wrong way. That's why I'm just wondering. I mean, if you could like... We've never really looked at deities, have we? I wonder, would it be possible to commune with the deity if we have a bit of time and see if we could get anything, or is that completely...
No.
Well, I've got a couple of magical tricks up my sleeve that could put the favour in our hands.
If Barwolf don't know about it, then by all means, you know. But he's very honourable. He's...
Closest I've got is divination, dude. But I was thinking if you were going to go for 1-on-1 combat, I would cast protection from evil, and that would put him at a disadvantage on all his attacks.
I don't know if it would, Sam, because he's humanoid. Protection from good and evil affects undead, celestial.
See, I mean, I could use sneakily silvery barbs. You magically distract the triggering creature and turn its momentary uncertainty into encouragement for another creature. The triggering creature must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll.
So let's, because I want to try and get Lars involved if I can. For now, give me a defense plan. How are you going to keep watch or set what in? Because you can. Sam, you said you can sort this back. You could just a permanent close it. Yeah.
I would need a long rest because I'd have to have the long rest to get the spell, to cast the spell.
Gotcha.
It'd be stone shape on the doorway, which would make it solid stone, and it would seal it.
Is that last permanently?
My understanding is yes. I'll just double check the spell.
If we want a defense, I'll just cast Leoman's tiny hut. We'll all hide in that.
Yeah, It doesn't say anything about an amount of time, Dave.
Okay, sound. So you've got the back sorted, dependent on a long rest, and you know that you can complete a long rest inside Leoman's tiny hut, or you can post guards for until you do rest. So does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the time being, you're going to have to post 2 watches, front and rear, which takes you up to a long rest. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get this out of the way first, then. Okay. In fact, what I'm going to do, and I don't like to do it too much. You manage to long rest without an issue, so you can go ahead and click your long rest button. That takes us to. Did you say 9 o'clock in the morning, Miller? So what I'm going to put it. I'm going to take it a full. I'm going to take it a full, slightly more than 24 hours, and say that it's midday on the following day after you've all had a long rest and you've all properly looked around. Sam, if you want to have already cast your stone shape spell, then you can
just fire in the slot off now. There we go, done.
Cool. So the back is secure. As you're discussing the front and your further plans, you actually see trudging through the snow, coming up the hill, what appears to be a humanoid figure walking towards you. And as it gets closer, you realise that it's not one, it's 3 figures coming closer to you. And you manage to see it in time that it doesn't see you. So approaching you is a humanoid male figure, adult figure, and 2 children. Lars, would you like to describe what they see?
Yeah. Let me just get my notes up. So, do you want me to just start?
Just what do they see?
Okay, so you'd see a rag-clothed humanoid male, probably like 40s, walking towards you, looking quite dishevelled, bruised, and 2 younger children.
So what do you want to do?
Didn't know pedo was a class.
My character is called the pedo. I'm joking.
Human, did you say?
Yeah. Did you say what did you want to ask, Dave?
That's it for now. That's that. What does the party? They can see you coming with these 2 children. So for you, Lars, you're just trudging through the snow. In fact, let's have a first roll for your new character then, Lars. Make a perception check for me, please. I'm going to ask for disadvantage as well.
It's 19.
Roll it one more time, and we'll apply whichever's lowest as your disadvantage, because you wouldn't be aware that anything is amiss.
It's quite a bad second roll.
Yeah.
The opposite end of the spectrum there.
Welcome to Strahd.
So Theodor's wandering up the hill. You've trod this path several times before, quite a few times before, not aware of anything. The rest of the party, you know that this figure with the 2 children are approaching. So to the party, excuse me, what do you want to do?
We've all seen him.
Yep.
Do we recognise the children?
Nope.
Or do I recognise the children?
No, you do not.
Okay.
Why is Sam extra good at recognising children?
No, there's it's part of the story. Mate. There's 2 kids that I know very well.
That makes it worse.
Only if you've got your brain, Lars.
He's like a grandfather figure, really.
Sorry, Dave. While this is going up, so a long rest from 9 o'clock is until takes us till when? 12 o'clock the next day.
No, long rest is just 8 hours.
8 hours.
So we've had a long rest with some time sitting around.
Yeah. So you're at midday, 12 noon on the day after.
So Brungrik will probably shout.
So, I will have used one of my animate deads then to keep my zombies fresh and healthy.
Sure. Yeah.
So Brungrik will shout out to this stranger. Halt. Advance slowly and keep your hands where we can see them.
Theodor will raise his arms in the air, start walking slowly towards you,
Just don't care.
and say, "Wait, don't attack. We need your help. I'm not simply a werewolf like the rest of these beasts. My name's Theodor Dragonfoot. I was once a great lord in the heartlands of Baldur's Gate, and I'll do anything to return to my family. I realise now that I may have done bad things in my past, but I would never allow the things happening here to happen in my lands. Although doing good doesn't come easy to me, I know I need to pay the hefty debt to return to my family. I know some of you may have heard of me once as a ruler, but I promise you, if you can help me get rid of this horrible disease, I'll help you in any way I can, including risking my own life."
And then he'll tell you to. Brungrik will shout again. Hold where you are. What horrible disease?
I'm one of these werewolves.
Oh.
Kill him.
Oh, that's a different story altogether.
I'll do anything to get back to my family.
Do you run with the pack that normally lives here?
I do.
Oh, God damn it! Why? Someone else is going to step in.
Wow.
So in the meantime, while you as Theodor's just sort of renounced his sort of evil ways, told you that he's part of the pack, these two children are continuing to sort of sob, and they're looking petrified and frightened and cold and hungry. You can tell that they're sort of torn between. What do? They're stood next to this character that's just identified himself as Theodor. He seems to be with them, but they don't know whether you can tell that they don't know whether to run from him or run from you or run to you. I would place them both around 8 years old, male and a female.
Valkyn's got his hand on on the hilt of his daggers because he doesn't trust any children in Barovia at all.
Especially for the Roman with a middle-aged
man.
Right?
Yeah.
They haven't done anything to us, have they?
Huh?
I don't think any kids have done anything to us while we've been here.
Yeah, they have. I killed one of them.
Damn it! I was 1 point off winning that tower army.
I killed the apprentice hag, didn't I? After she ran away from us and started sobbing.
Yes, that's right.
During the throat.
I mean, I think Damian would turn to Theodor and he'd be like, "Which as a werewolf, who do you serve? Who's your packmaster?" Krill.
Yeah.
And if you truly mean to rid yourself of this curse and help fight the evil of this land, summon him. Bring him back here now.
Theodor would just reply with, Kirill's away at the moment, but he will be back tomorrow. Or actually, or in tomorrow now because we took the long rest.
No.
Tomorrow from now.
And why the sudden change of heart? How do we not know he's going to suddenly turn up today?
Well, him and the rest of the pack have gone to Castle Ravenloft. He's asked me to bring these 2 children back, and we're going to make them fight, and whoever wins will be converted into a werewolf. The other will be killed.
Yeah.
Or just left alone with Sam.
And you condone these actions?
No, this is why I'm trying to rid myself of this foul beast disease and redeem myself back in the Heartlands. I'll do anything you guys request.
Way to redeem yourself.
That's why I'm willing to stay and do anything you need me to do, even if that means losing my own life. Which sounds like it's quite common in this campaign anyway.
I don't know what to do. It's really hard for me. And look at Dave. Look at the smug look on his face. So, Brungrik will. He clearly looks very, very tense. He's gripping his axe. He's got his shield. He looks ready for a fight, and he'll say, "I can remove the curse, but that does not mean I will trust you. One wrong move, and you'll find this axe in the back of your neck." And you won't know, but you can tell he's seething with anger.
Is he racist?
No. He's just a very angry little man who's got a big chip on his shoulder.
Theodor would just reply with, if you just give me the chance to prove myself, I'm willing to do anything it takes. I just need to get rid of this disease and get back to my family. Trust me, I don't want to harm these children any more than you do.
And at that, he'll probably look to the children and he'll say, "It's okay, little ones. Come here. We have food by the fire. Come get yourself warm and get some food in your bellies."
I think I would probably look at you and say, you had similar reservations about me.
And still does.
Yeah, clearly.
Roll your persuasion then, Sam.
On the website.
Oh, you want me to roll? Oh, yeah.
What's up, Luke?
I said Lars has just been mentioned on the YouTube website.
Have I won?
No, he just says, "Oh, Lars, no, well, that's a new name."
Where's that?
On the You Could Win.
Yeah, with a roll of natural ones, Sam, the kids aren't interested. They seem to be staying with the devil that they know, as opposed to the one that they don't, and they both.
I've had an angry outburst, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So both kids are staying closer to Theodor.
Okay.
So I think Damian would be like, look, children, and he gets down on one knee and kind of like makes himself look a bit less intimidating. He's going to kind of move forward to the mouth, a bit more further to the mouth of the cave, like here, and he's going to get down on one knee and he's kind of going to open his arms out and he says, "Look, children, where are you from?"
The children tell you that they're from what can I hear? Was that you, Bowler? It is,
Yeah.
it's Bowler. The children will say that they're from the free city of Greyhawk. Just outside the free city of Greyhawk, they were attendants at a church of Pelor when they were taken away. And their father Jeff was also kidnapped by these wolf men.
Hang on a minute, Dave. I'm stood there in Church of Pelor Regalia, and I didn't get an advantage on a persuasion check.
No, you didn't. You can roll a persuasion check, Jake.
So, I mean, my response to it would be the fact that I know of the clerics that were sent to. I know of the people that were sent to track you down and find you. Niloren, a dear friend of mine, was a faithful servant of Pelor, and he came from the church to come and find you. Do you know Niloren?
The boy looks up and says, "Yeah, Niloren, is he here?"
Unfortunately, Niloren isn't here with us. But do you remember Brungrik? He was a lead cleric for the Church of Pelor. You may have heard his name, but don't maybe not recognise his face.
Yeah, Brungrik, the grumpy old dwarf. Yeah, we know of Brungrik. I've never met him. And then you can see as he sort of stutters and he's putting two and two together, and he takes in Brungrik's regalia.
Damian would just be like, "We mean you no harm."
Okay, so the boy and the girl. So we'll say Jason and Sally. Why not? So Jason looks towards Sally and they sort of nod between the two of them, and then they look back towards Theodor as they start moving towards you, and it's almost as if they're checking that that it's okay for them to move away. Is Theodor going to stop them, or let them carry on?
Theodor's going to put both his hands on their shoulders and hold them and say, "How do we know that we can trust you? You've not given us a lot of information about yourselves. How do we know you are Brungrik?"
Because he's a grumpy old dwarf.
We have no reason to lie. We don't have our own vendettas. We were all dragged to this land and forced to fight through various trials, and now we want to save those at risk. These children have been taken from their homes, tortured, and made to suffer by you. Now, the least you can do is release them to us.
Shall I roll a perception check to see if they're telling the truth?
You can have an inside check to see if they're telling the truth.
5.
So you can't quite. It might be the light of the cave. You're outside and it's dark inside. You can't quite make out the facial expressions. And from what you can hear, you've heard steel in the voices of these people in front of you. From the dwarf and the other fellas that have spoken out. The only redeeming voice you've heard seems to have come from a cloaked elf. Dark-looking figure, but all the rest seem very unsure of you.
Valkyn's gonna step up. He's gonna frankly say, "We seek to play your alpha. Help us to in this task, and we'll see what we can do about your curse."
Theodor's going to take a knee with the two children and say, what do you think, guys? What's your opinion of this situation? Do you think we can trust them?
The children, they both nod and they say, yeah, if they know Niloren and that is brother Brungrik, then yeah, they can help us. We should help them.
Theodor's going to stand and say, okay, we're with you. Tell me what you need me to do.
What was the name of the brother that got taken as well?
Which brother?
You said there was a brother of Pelor was taken as well.
Oh, Father Jeff.
Father Jeff. Would I know Father Jeff?
Yes. Father Jeff is possibly the highest ranking, if it is Father Jeff that you know of, he is the highest ranking clergy in the Church of Pelor.
Okay. Right,
As long as it's not Father Jack, because he's a bit of a drunkard. Sorry.
Theodor's going to walk forward and say, let me go first, forward, children. Forward first, children.
Okay, yeah, they walk behind you.
And he's going to come up to greet Valkyn because he seems the most... turn off character. The most trustworthy. And the calmest of them.
Oh, we've got you fooled.
Wow.
Well, he's the only one that hasn't threatened to kill me straight off the bat, so...
I didn't threaten to kill you. I just gave the impression I wanted to kill you.
So, because obviously Barwolf's been watching and listening this whole time, he stands up, being the honourable chap he is, he draws his sword out and throws it towards Lars's character. Not maliciously, but basically say, I'm unarmed, come on in, to put him at ease a little bit, and then walks out, arms open like that.
What, for a hug?
No, as if to say, I'm unarmed. Obviously, he knows himself, at worst case scenario, if Lars' character turns on him, he'll just go into his hybrid form and he'll transform into a werewolf. But Lars doesn't know that yet.
Theodor's not going to drop anything because he's only wearing rags. And if he drops anything, then you guys are going to get the wrong impression.
While all this is going on, I just wave my hand and put my meat shield in front of me.
Yeah, fair enough. So far then, as Theodor's approached, you've seen. We'll start at the back with Esmeralda. Esmeralda's kept stum at this. You can see as sort of names are passed around and you're sort of introducing yourself. As you'd be aware of the Vistani. Vistani are basically the travellers, the Romany gypsy people of Barovia. They are allowed to go in and out of the mist, and Esmeralda seems to be one of these people. She seems like she can handle herself. She's got a rapier and a hand axe, and a wooden leg as well, rather bizarrely. A quite attractive woman. Barwolf is the samurai that's sort of thrown his sword down in sort of a implication. Reman is the one that spoke up for you. He's the sort of hooded elf type character that said to Brungrik, you didn't know about me when I first turned up. Brungrik is the angry dwarf. In front of Reman, rather bizarrely, you can see 3 zombies just stood around, seem to be taking cues from Reman. Damian and Valkyn have stepped towards you. Damian is quite a swarthy looking. You would at a guess, you would possibly think that he was Vistani or had Vistani blood in him as well. And Valkyn is just hooded. And when you sort of look at him or you turn away from him, he's almost as if he shimmers ever so slightly. Like you can tell that this fella knows how to blend into the shadows quite easily. And there's a bat flying around the head of
Bat
Reman
Damon.
as well. Bat Damon. The cave itself is as you remember it. There's a few more bloodstains on the floor near to the entrance than you recall when you were last here.
You might recognise the clothing the zombies are wearing.
So what's the plan now?
So Brungrik will ask, would you like the lycanthropy curse removing now, or does he need to keep it for the fight to come?
Well, I think didn't Miller's character, didn't Reman say, I've got to help you to prove myself before you're willing to release the curse?
No, I said that he didn't trust me. He still doesn't trust me fully because of what I am. But he's been willing for the purpose of the tasks and what have you. He's willing to tolerate me. So I've just sort of reaffirmed, well, it's another. You haven't done anything aggressive. You deserve at least a chance to prove yourself. But like me, I'm sure an axe will come my way the moment I do something he dislikes.
Barwolf will look at him as well and say, the Death Wizard speaks the truth. Trust swings both ways. Remove his curse now, and then it cannot be used against us in the fight to come.
Dragonfoot would also say, return me to my original form, and I'll be much more useful in the fight.
Okay. Brungrik will come over, pull out his little Church of Hell or prayer book.
And sing Kumbaya.
Yeah, sing Kumbaya.
Kumbaya, my lord.
And cast remove curse.
Well, Valkyn pickpockets him.
Can you fail this cast, or is it a guarantee?
It's automatic. As long as you're willing, it's automatic.
Theodor's definitely willing.
So it washes over you. You feel the glow, this holy symbol in this angry dwarf's hand, and you can sense the power in him, the divine power flowing from the dwarf as it washes over Theodor. And as it washes over, it tails off and takes out the back and takes the wolf out of you, and you are now cured of lycanthropy.
So Theodor would drop to his knees and hold on to Brungrik's hands and say, "Thank you so much. Thank you for what you've done to me. The debt will never be fully repaid."
Bit of an acknowledging grunt as he's still waiting to see what happens next.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Esmeralda to take the children back into the shrine room where they were before. You can tell that she doesn't really have much in the way of maternal instincts, but she's the best bet as it stands. That's probably a sexist thing to say, but she's also the NPC, so it takes takes her out of the way. She'll say, "I'll guard the children. Whatever you plan to do, the children and I will stay in the shrine room. Just be prepared for any eventualities tomorrow when the pack returns."
Theodor's going to go over to a small pile on the floor and pick up the remaining bits of his belongings, such as his robes, a ring of protection, and some braces of defense, and a dagger.
Yeah. Okay, so
And the staff, sorry, as well.
yeah. So you see, as Theodor wanders off, you can see he's sort of hidden away in the back of one cave. Obviously, you're keeping a shifty on him. He moves rocks aside, and he's got a small stash, including everything he's just said. And as he appears, you can tell that he's got the dress and the garb of what appears to be an arcane spellcaster. And now that the lycanthropy's dropped, the rugged look has dropped ever so slightly. So next,
You might even say handsome.
what we're gonna do now?
Barwolf's going to go and pick his sword up for a start.
Good idea.
And he's going to say, "Now I go and pray." And he's going to basically go and sit in your old Japanese kind of style, legs crossed kind of thing, with his sword in front of him, praying to the Raven Queen for some guidance for the upcoming fight.
Okay, sure.
Do we want to try building traps or defences or anything?
Yes, Sam, do it.
Theodore will just say, when Carol returns, just so you know, this werewolf is ruthless.
Says Valkyn's BO, that's why he can't get any women.
Why do you think I moved over to the rocks to go and pick up my equipment?
He's a dryer, isn't he?
He never takes off his mask, so I would imagine it probably stinks under there. You know?
Like a clammy leper.
Yes, so my thoughts was to use spears and javelins to create, some form of small barricade so we can narrow that gap. If we narrow it in the right place, so if they come at us, we can, we have the advantage.
Yeah.
Tighter is better.
Somewhere around here.
You want to funnel them in. That kind of thing, yeah.
Won't that kind of trigger them to, alert them to something's off, as opposed to just catching them unawares?
I mean, have the kids got lycanthropy?
No.
No,
and that rings true. Obviously, you're not entirely sure, but from what you were aware of Kirill, his MO is to get kids in, to put them in a gladiator pit, and whoever wins to turn them. Survival of the fittest or the strongest gets turned into werewolves. And that's what Theodor was saying to you. That was the plan for the children.
So does Theodor know what the actual right is to challenge? Is there a specific right that we need to do to challenge him to one-on-one?
Yes.
The alpha.
Yeah. So Theodor would know it's basic pack mentality. If someone is challenging the alpha, it's a simple "I challenge you, dickhead," and then off you go.
Rill is the most powerful of the werewolves. He's the leader of the pack at the moment. Are you trying to become the leader of the pack, Lewis?
That was our thoughts.
It'd be a nice little army, wouldn't it? You could always do the thing and funnel them in so they can't, spread on us while, because if something happens and we don't get the chance to challenge them, I mean, I'm pretty sure we will, but if we don't, at least if they're funneled in, we can kind of angle me at the end of the funnel kind of thing, saying, "I challenge you, dickhead."
That was my thought, by having it that little bit further back from the entrance here, and we funnel them into the centre. Maybe we've then got, we're all sort of around this area.
I mean, it's a shame we can't funnel them into the water area and just electrocute the fuckers. Because they know it's only a water area because they live in the cave.
I mean, we could hide back there, but it's an open space, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought Max was waking up then.
So, you know, I don't know what anyone else's thoughts are.
Yeah, I'm going for just using natural sort of.
Max has just woken up with a minute.
Right it. Well, Lewis could
Yeah,
be a
just-
while. So what? Sorry, Johnson. You were just saying you were thinking what, funnel them?
Yeah, just funnel them with the sort of natural topography of cave bay to alerting them with any sort of man-made stuff, or just try and get a jump on them.
if-
You know.
An actual chest infection? Did you say, Johnson?
Yes, mate.
Ugh. Are you on antibiotics?
2 antibiotics, 2 of them, and the clarithromycin and amoxicillin.
Are you off work then?
No, it's just my days off.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys
On a
prescribing yet?
No.
I thought that was like a thing. I'm sure I saw something on the wall at Rainsway. They're trialing new paras to give out antibiotics of some sort. Or we're just making that up.
I'm not seeing
It won't be
Yeah.
prescribing.
Not prescribing, but like giving them as like a treatment option for leave at home patients. I'm sure I saw something like that. I've just been giving them out anyway, just off my out my own bag.
Fair enough. Like toughies. So if you remember when you approached the cave originally, there were guards posted on this outcropping here. There were 2 guards posted here, and that would be the obvious post to overlook, assuming that you weren't wanting to hide. The only other thing that would possibly occur to you is if there aren't 2 lookouts here, would that alert anyone entering the cave as to, is there a problem?
Well, we've got. We could all sit on top of there inside Leomon's tiny hut, and I could have 2 zombies outside looking like sentries from afar, and then we'll be for all intents and purposes invisible and protected from any attack until we decided to jump out.
Yeah, if we have any 2 ranged people up on top here, and the ghouls aren't going to be able to easily scale it without an athletics check or something, would they say?
It'd slow him down, yeah. That's, I mean, the rise itself, it's a good sort of 3 or 4 feet. I mean, a werewolf at full tilt or a wolf at full tilt would go over it pretty quickly, but it certainly would slow them down.
Yeah.
Johnson's thinking about the old high ground, aren't you? Of the high ground,
yeah.
That was sort of part of my theory. That was why I was going to barrack, because realistically, me and Lewis are your front line, aren't we? Jake excels just behind one of the 2 of us, and then obviously the rest. Yourself, you're a flanker, aren't you, Andy? And then obviously we've got our magic users. That was sort of what I was thinking. If we barricaded left and right, left the centre open for me and Lewis to hold, with Jake behind us, and then, do you know what I mean? That was why I was thinking about the barricading. Not all the way across. Give them that open way to sort of say, come in this way, and then you've got me and Lewis then to take them on. So if you barricaded, say here, and here, and leave this little bit open. That's where me and Lewis can defend, and then magic users at the back on the higher ground.
Werewolves classed as humanoid?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd. I mean, it'd be instinctive for Theodor. I know you've not played D&D much, Lars, but werewolves or lycanthropes are immune to all damage unless it's magic or silver. So if you try a werewolf with a normal anything, it just heals it instantly. It does no damage whatsoever.
Okay.
But obviously with your magic, and you can see before you were turned back, or the curse was removed, you can smell silver and magic on the rest of these guys, and now you're back normal again. You can't smell it or sense it, but you know they can handle themselves.
So they've fought werewolves before?
We have, yeah.
We make a good showing of ourselves.
So, gonna use the wood from the cages and the spears and the javelins to have 2 barricades here and here. Then you say,
Yeah.
There and
Sounds-
there, yeah. That
Yeah.
was my thoughts.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm happy to go with Sam's plan.
Have the sharp, pointy bit sticking outwards.
Sure. So if you want to position yourself where everyone else is going to be while you're sort of sat waiting, these are lights, torches that were lit. Obviously, they've spluttered and gone out by now. Are you going to create a darkened area, or are you going to leave it dark, or what are you going to do?
Can Theodor see in the dark?
I don't actually have dark vision.
No,
That
Neither
can
do
see.
I.
So
I mean, I can cast light. Do I need to concentrate on it though?
No, not.
No.
not.
So when the time comes, I could cast light on myself or on an object or 2, just to give us some light around the barricade.
I
Okay.
said I was going to pick more utility spells, Dave, and I picked 1.
Does
Yeah,
Brungrik want the meat shield in front of him?
No, because we're going to need to be able to do damage. I can do damage past them, but assuming that we're going to go with that strategy, is him and Barwolf will be the front line with everyone else supporting.
Okay, where would you like the meat shield?
You'd probably want them maybe on the flank behind the barricades to stop them just running over the barricade.
So
Do you know what I'm saying?
Here,
But
here.
Yeah, spread them out as you like, mate. It just means it'll just slow them down that bit longer. We're just trying to stop us getting overrun, aren't we?
I can cast as a little bit of a distraction. I can cast dancing lights. It's 4 lights that come out, but I can combine them to 1 humanoid form. It's a bit of a distraction to get you the jump on him, or jump on them as they come through. Maybe.
Okay. We'll have those as the barricades then. I know it's a bit crude, but apply vision blocking on those as well, so you can get your line of sight. Okay. Where did you want Damian then?
Damian's probably going to fall in line behind Brungrik and Barwolf so that he can get in and do his shit.
Okay, righto. So we'll move it forwards then. So you've had another day to get to know Theodor. The children and Esmeralda seem happy and content in the back. Is there anything that we want to exchange with each other while we're waiting for the following day, or do we want to just move it forwards a little bit?
You want me to tell my backstory?
That's up to you, mate. I mean, if
Do you guys want to hear it though? That's what I want to hear some.
Nobody cares, Theodore.
Theodore sat at the fire and start telling a story, isn't he? Theodore wants to ask.
You've spent some time doing it, so do it.
Theodore wants to know about your characters because he doesn't know. He doesn't know really much about you all apart from the way you look and the frosty approach that Brungrik gave him.
My bloke owned a cheese shop until Strahd stole a block of cheese from it, and ever since then he's had a vendetta against him.
Is it actually cheese?
No.
Cheese and bread.
Although that's not a bad backstory, I might use that for my next character.
Let's move it forwards then, shall we? So you get another 24 hours goes by. Well, slightly less than 24 hours. We're now early hour, sort of. As you're posting watches, it'd be sort of 7 o'clock in the morning of the following day when you first notice the approach of humanoid figures coming up the slope towards you. And there's a mix between humanoids and wolves. And there's also larger, almost wolf-sized dire wolves coming up the hill towards you as well. I'm going to do...
Well, as I've seen that coming up, I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
Yeah. So any preparation you've got, feel free to do it now.
You know, my shield spell, an invisible barrier of magical force appears and protects you until the start of your next turn. You have 5+ AC, including against the triggered attack. Is it a reactive spell?
It is a
Or is it-
reaction spell, yeah.
Cool. So I can't just cast it now just to get it in.
You can. You can use it as a reaction whenever you want, but it's better if I roll to hit you. So your AC is about a 14 at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if I roll 15 to 20, and I say to you, right, I've rolled 19 to hit, you say, as a reaction, I'll cast shield, and then that shield lasts until the start of your next turn.
Yeah, because otherwise it's a bit of a waste if the first attack's only like a 9.
Exactly.
Sweet.
So I'm not going to suggest to you that this is where they are yet. What I'm going to do is roll a bunch of quick perception checks.
Kirill's mega handsome, isn't he? Looks a bit like you, Johnson.
What?
Kirill,
Say what?
For real?
have a little look.
Johnson was just concerned because you call him handsome.
There's Kirill.
I can't see him. There we go.
That's Lycan Johnson, that.
So they don't seem to have noticed you approaching. Lycan Johnson.
That's your next character sorted, mate.
I'll send you the picture. How do you want to do this? The wolves, the dire wolves, seem to be loping towards you first, and the hybrid werewolves behind them a little bit.
I like that you managed to turn them all.
Yeah, power that lot.
How are we going to do it?
Shout him.
Theodor's looking nervous.
So
Is-
I'm going to quickly cast guidance on myself,
Mhm.
and in a booming voice shout, "Krill, we've got a bone to pick with you."
Really?
Okay.
Dog humour at a time like this?
So the
I
pack
didn't even think about it.
the pack stops, and then there's a few whispered instructions as everyone sort of stops, approaches slowly, but starts to spread out, and you can see Kirill sort of said, made a spread out type motion, and he'll respond saying, "Who's there? Who is that?"
Vengeance, you filthy dog.
Vengeance.
So there is a laugh returned back to you, and Kirill will say, "Who are you? Identify yourself."
I'm Batman. Sorry, Dave.
How long have you been sat on that one, Lewis?
Well, when you said vengeance earlier, that was it.
I'm vengeance. That's all I can think of.
Oh dear. I think at that moment in time, like Barwolf will unsheathe his katana and say, "Let the moon be my guide," like whispered, and his katana like glows in a nice moonlit glow. And he points it towards him and says, "Your challenger."
Theodor's just nervous because he knows Krill's powerful, but he's standing his ground, but his hands are trembling, ready to cast.
Okay. So to this, Kirill will say, challenger for the pack. Show yourselves. And you can see that he's squinting into the cave. He can't quite make you out. He's stood in the bright sunshine and you're inside.
So Barwolf will throw his katana down on the floor where it kind of illuminates even more because it's the moon blessed katana. And he'll transform into his hybrid form and like a massive werewolf howl.
Right.
Brungrik will shout out, "Accept the challenge, or do you have the balls of a bitch in heat?"
To this, Kirill will say, "I accept the challenge. Step out. Just a challenger."
Oh.
Challenge is a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can see we'll say he approached in human form, but he sort of his muzzle extends, hair appears out of him, same as with Barwolf. And he moves, the direwolf moves slightly to the side, and Kirill steps up to the entrance and he says, "I'm here. Step out. Let's do this."
And then Barwolf will kind of growl in a bit of a grey maney kind of voice to the gladiator pit.
Lewis,
And Barwolf will turn and then start walking.
Lewis, we can't get up there.
Oh, have you already froze it?
Yeah, I sealed it yesterday.
Oh, that's a shame. We could have trapped the bastard.
You want him in the mouth of the cave, really.
All right, then.
You want him in
Barwolf
the
will
mouth?
walk towards him. Forget that fast. He feels like a prick now.
You've made me look stupid.
So
Right.
yeah, he'll basically walk to there.
Okay. So Kirill will edge forwards then.
Just before he steps forward, Brungrik will put his hand, on his arm, his big hairy arm, because he probably can't reach his shoulder, and say, "You've got this one, laddie," and cast guidance on him.
Okay.
I cast it on myself in case I need an intimidation check.
Yeah, no, I knew what you were doing. So the rest of the pack moves in a little bit, and you can just make out from where you are. There's another werewolf just stood round the corner as if he was possibly going to try and sneak in. But Kirill now is stood in front of you, ready, waiting for you to charge. And he says, "Come on then, pup."
Barwolf will basically go, Raven Queen, guide me, and he'll charge at him.
Okay. 1-on-1. Let's roll for initiative.
Roll, Ricka, roll, Ricka, roll. Is everyone rolling?
Just these two for now.
Krill's going first.
Okay.
So Kirill will move forwards.
I'm going to send Damian out into the to fly around all the werewolves and that, just so I can get a good look at what's
Okay, righto. I'll make
going on outside.
I'll make them all visible then, so you can see a few more outside. There's 3 this side and 3 that side of the cave that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to see.
Am I allowed to cast on Beowulf without it provoking Krill?
If you've got the
Depends.
range, mate.
I need to do a thingy again.
Lou, just so you know, guidance gives you a +4 on any. Hang on. You can use
I'm
it
out of
once.
range.
You can roll a d4 and add that number to an ability check of your choice.
Okay. Before or after the roll?
You have to call it before you roll.
Got you.
I'd have given you some extra AC, mate, but you've already wandered off all aggressive, like.
So it's 2 attacks from all this claw. So first he tries to claw Barwolf and rolls a 14 to hit.
Misses.
And then he'll follow that up with a bite, which is a 12. Also, obviously misses.
Yeah.
So that takes it to Barwolf then.
So Barwolf, as his bonus action, is going to basically slice one of his wrists slightly and cast Crimson Right.
Yep.
And he's going to imbue his claws with the power of flame.
Okie dokie.
And then he's going to attack for a melee attack with his predatory strike.
Sure.
16.
16 hits.
Okay. So it's a 1d6 plus 5 plus another 1d6 flame damage for 6.
Boom.
Okay. Anything else?
He'll growl.
Okay.
Meow.
So as your claws sink into Kirill, the wound heals straight away. But then as the flame engulfs the wound, it sort of hisses slightly, and you can tell he's taking damage from the fire, but not
Does
from the
the
claws.
Crimson Right not make the claws technically a magic weapon?
Yeah, they're technically magical flame now, aren't they?
The flame
It's the same
magic.
like when I had it to my court. Yeah,
Just-
when I had it to my court.
Just check the Crimson Right bit, because I'm sure it makes the weapon magical.
Yeah, right magic is magical and lasts
Okay.
while you wield
Right,
it.
in which case, yeah, he takes 10 more. So as your claws sink in to, just make sure I did that right. Yeah, as your claws sink into Kirill, and you can see straight away that he's intrigued by this. It's his turn to try and attack back. So he will claw again for 14, which misses. And he'll try a second claw as well. He's abandoning the bite now. And he's rolling poorly. He rolls 6 for that.
Yeah, misses again.
Yeah, so your turn.
So yeah, this time I'm gonna again strike, but can I use my inspiration on this one? Does that give me a plus to the hit DC, advantage on hit DC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my inspiration on this one, just
Okay.
in case. Come on, you bugger. There we go. 28 to hit.
That's a natural 20.
Lovely.
Damn.
Naughty.
So 9.
Plus
With-
2d6.
Yeah, well, I'm not... 2d6.
That's a crit.
Everything's
Oh, yeah.
doubled.
It's a crit, so I've got another d6 as well because of the fire damage.
Yeah, that's the 2d6, yeah.
Oh, is it?
So just one more
Oh,
d6 now.
Okay, and then as my bonus action, I'm going to have another strike
Okay.
with
Oh,
my...
David, it's already rolled, so he's had the 2d6 plus 5, and then the d. So he just one more d6. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So then as my bonus action, another attack. 26.
26 hits, yeah.
For 6 plus another d6 for magical 4, so 10 in total.
19, 23, and another d6 as well, though.
Oh, sorry. 4.
27.
damage.
Nice.
Those are some nice dice, Lewis.
So you can tell that Kirill now he's gonna have one more attempt to claw at you. He does manage to crit with a 24.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah, so that's if he's rolled really poorly for damage, that's 10 points of damage.
Mhm.
And he'll follow that up with a 22 to hit.
Oh, just hits.
Okay, that's another 7 points of damage.
Okay, that's fine.
And he seems a little bit boosted by those 2 hits. Your turn.
Okay.
Hold
Same
on.
again then. So if I use...
Werewolf's armor class is 22.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Sorry, go on. Carry on.
So if I use guidance, does that mean I can add +4 to my hit DC?
You roll a d4 on a.
It's an ability check. So perception, intimidation, things like that. It's not a combat thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that would be bless if.
Got you. Sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah.
I just chucked it in just in case, because you never know.
23 to hit.
Yeah, 23 hits.
9 plus another d6. 2, so 11. And then for my bonus attack, same again. 27.
Yeah.
9 plus another d6.
11, 20, 23. Okay, so this time you can see that Kirill he's decided he's not happy with the situation. He can now see past Barwolf as he's charged forwards. You can see now, instead of just looking at Barwolf and taking in what's in front of him, he's looking to see what else is inside. You can see the barricades. You can see the angry dwarf. You can see Damian behind, and you can also see Theodor. And he grins up at Theodor. And he says to Theodor, "Well done, brother. Your turn now." And he's going to use the disengage action, and he's going to move there. And as he does so, he will announce to the rest of the pack to attack.
Okay.
So, if you guys want to roll
Initiative.
if you intend to join in the fighting.
Do you know, before that happens, do you think Barwolf will be able to do something?
Looks like you will anyway, mate.
Oh, fair enough. So obviously using the guidance and the intimidation, it'll basically... So if I can I roll a d4 and that goes to my... If I was to use persuasion, let's say, that would go on top of that.
Yeah.
Is that right? Do I roll the d4 first?
Well, no, you add them together. So you roll the d20 and the d4 and that.
Got you. So basically, as he's doing that, then if I'm at the top, it's a case of Barwolf will proper scream in his like deep wolfy voice, you know, your alpha runs, I am clearly the stronger. Obey me. That kind of thing.
Righto. Let's have your intimidation then, and you can add your D4 to it.
I'm on low.
So 17. 18.
Okay, that's pretty good. So as you shout this with your fury, 16 Johnson, he's struggling again with you, isn't it?
Yeah, I just won't do it, mate. In the chat anyway.
Yeah. So what do you get? 16.
Yes.
Have you got the like green arrows facing outwards, Johnson? On map tools.
Hey, mate. So.
On the right hand side, under the selected thing.
You have got the selected tab open, haven't you?
Yeah. Got the campaign.
No, not. You don't need campaign. You need selected.
So go to window at the top, and then on there look for selected. Press that, and then drag it onto your right hand side or something. On map tools, I mean.
Yeah.
Press on window. Can you see selected near the bottom?
Yeah.
And then put that on the right hand side. If you press the green arrows all facing in different directions on there, it should come up, and then you just press roll initiative.
Hey!
I've been using that funny. It's not been working.
Well, there you go. It's set up now. That might make it a bit easier. So as Barwolf, with this bestial roar, Kirill will respond by saying, "Don't listen. You are all mine." And you can tell that the rest of the pack is rocked by Barwolf's words. And as such, none of them, all of them, the direwolves included, stand and do nothing for a turn.
Nice,
So,
Lewis.
I'm going to start us right at the top. Kirill's just had his turn.
Makes Theodor look like he's actually going to back out of this fight, doesn't it? Of being the lowest initiative.
Theodor's a pussy little chipmunk.
or is he backing out?
So,
Unagi.
Yeah, who knows? Damian is the next to react, and you've heard Kirill saying to Theodor, "It's your time now, brother." And the rest of the pack seems to have stopped, almost stunned by Barwolf's words, but you're not entirely sure which way it's going to go. What does Damian want to do?
So with Kirill disengaging, has he disengaged and moved away from Barwolf?
Yes, he's attempted to go round. Well, in fact, he is. He's out of line of sight of you at the minute, round the corner.
Because can I bonus action Step of the Wind, bust a key point to move my... I'm sure I've got 40 feet of movement, so I can move up to 80 feet of movement.
Yeah.
So that's the 30 there.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, hold that thought. I am not going to use my key point because I don't actually need to Step of the Wind.
Okay.
Because with my 40 feet of movement, I can still get within range of Kirill anyway.
You can.
Yeah, I'm going to make some attacks against him.
Okay, go for it.
Using the Blood Whip. That's a 25 to hit
Easy hit.
for 13 points of damage.
Yeah.
It goes for a second hit for a 24.
Hits.
Go on, Jake.
For another 13 points of damage.
How do you want to kill him?
Oh, Jesus.
Pass it to me.
To
You're
be
allowed to kill
fair,
people now, Jake, aren't you?
I know, but I wasn't actually going for the kill. I was hoping
Okay.
I was going to weaken him and let Lewis finish him.
Well, you can.
so-
You can. It's a melee attack, so you can subdue him, knock him to 0 with your whip.
Can I do that? So rather than knock him to 0, what
Whip him into
I want to do
submission.
is I'll like lash him with the blood whip the first time and like almost like heek it round his back and like bring him like almost like stagger him, and then with the second shot of my blood whip almost like bring it straight round his neck and like drag him straight down to the floor with it. So as it like lashes at his neck, he's got a deep laceration in his leg, but he's not dead. Like it's just kind of like pulled him to his knees.
Okay. Yeah. Hold that thought. I'm just going to go for a wee.
Yeah, me too.
To which Damian would probably look back at Barwolf and say, "This is yours."
I can't wait to walk up to him and go, there's Sparta! Kick his head off.
Well, if you kick him and then like the blood whip pulls at the same time.
Well,
It just rolls off.
I've got something Gucci that I'm going to do, but that worked out better than I thought.
I think we seriously overthought this.
I think I had some very good rolls though, and I think that blessing with the fire damage and the inspiration and the guidance has certainly helped.
But Crimson Right's only elemental damage. It's not magical. On Blood Hunter, I'm sure it's only elemental, but
no, it says here as a bonus action on activating the right magic is damp magical and lasts until you.
Is that at a certain level?
I think you get
that granted.
I don't know
Because you wouldn't get it at second level because like
Days back.
technically like Blood Hunters comes at second level, doesn't it? And it's just the Hemocraft.
Yeah, no, it definitely says it.
Doesn't deem it as magical on D&D Beyond anyway.
No, yeah, it definitely says it here. Yeah, activating the right, you take 1d. The damage is magical and lasts until you complete a short or long rest. So,
What's you checking if it is magic damage?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, you said it is.
yeah, it says it in. So I was gonna say it says it in black and white, but it doesn't. It says it in white.
Is this would be a malediction then, will it? Or
What, the Crimson Right?
oh, Crimson Right.
Yeah. No, I've got Blood Maledict as well. So I could have done. What is it? Amplify this. Yeah, I've got Curse of. Oh, I forgot. I casted that spell on what's his face as well, didn't I? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Where I know where he is at every point, every moment in time. What's his face? Van Richten.
You need to take 1d6 damage yourself, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Get down.
Talking to Emma again.
Oh, I wish, mate. The bloody cat just started jumping on top of the telly. I'm trying to walk across the telly, but can't walk across the telly because she's a fucking cat.
Bailey does it. If he sees anything on the TV that's like looks remotely like an animal, he jumps up onto like the TV unit and's barking at it. But I'm scared he's going to knock my TV over one time.
Max has been a bugger with it at the minute. He keeps banging the telly and like pointing at stuff, going, "This one." You see the telly going,
Yeah.
"No."
So Bailey.
Are we all back?
Nice. The only thing I'm thinking Okay, righto. Yeah, so apparently rules as written, it says weapon. And not because I think natural weapons different, but it was Matt Mercer who created the class, and he let his players do it, and he created the class. So if they can do it, then yeah.
I was going to say, I swear I've done it before in the campaign.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I've used it quite a bit, haven't I? Because I unlocked the lightning ability, and now I unlock the
You've
fire
definitely used
ability.
it before.
You've done it on a new
You've-
weapon, though, I believe.
Yeah, because in the fight in the cave a few months ago, I did it on my sword and kind of did a bit of a anime head chopping thing.
You did, yeah.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Right, where were we up to then? So, yeah, Damian's just pulled Kirill to his feet, off his feet, kneeling down in front of you. The pack is frozen, not sure what to do. Kirill's now holding the blood whip, and you faced away from you, on his knees, gurgling. So again, it's Valkyn, Barwolf, and Reman in that order up next. The rest of the pack seems to have frozen. So Valkyn first. What would Valkyn be doing at this point?
Still around the corner counting his pennies.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to step up. There's not a lot of point in hiding at this point, so I guess I'll use my 30 feet of movement. Oh, I'm going to dash. Dash is an action.
Yeah.
To put myself in the fight. And I'm going to ready action, just in case the werewolves and direwolves don't kill.
Gotcha. So would this be with crossbow or dagger in hand?
With crossbows. I've got my silvered bolt ready. So yeah.
Okay, so Barwolf, you're next then.
Well, Barwolf's going to walk up to him whilst he's being held down by Damian.
Yeah.
And basically say, "You have been weighed. You have been found wanting." And he's going to lean in really close to him and say, "Death to the Dark Lord, praise the Raven Queen." And as he does so, he's just going to extend his claws and just lop his head clean off.
Okay. In which case that does do it. So the head falls and rolls over to the side. And you can clearly tell. So hold up. Is that so? Jake's token having a bit of a paddy on mine. Never mind. So as the head rolls to the ground, the rest of the pack now start looking, and the wolves, you can tell their tails go between their legs, and they're not. No one knows what to do. And you can tell, or Reman is next up. You can clearly tell that something has shifted. The dynamics of the pack has now changed, and it appears that Barwolf is now in control of the pack.
Barwolf going to turn against us? I've only just got my bloody humanity back.
Lewis planned to work for Strahd all along, didn't he?
Lewis was Strahd.
Yeah. With a
That
small
would
S.
be a twist, wouldn't it?
We gave him the win, though.
But could you imagine if like Niloren survived to the end game, then it turned out Niloren was Strahd all along? The really nice guy was the big baddie all along.
So at this point, it's I mean, strictly speaking,
There's one problem with that, Sam. He didn't make it to the end, did he?
All right, Jesus, Jake.
What time have we all got to finish tonight, by the way?
Not too late, mate.
Oh,
Okay.
That for me.
when the boss sends me a text.
All right. So when, okay, so I'm just trying to figure out where to take this now because you've managed to subdue the pack quite nicely. So the pack placated, and you could tell that the direwolves and all the werewolves are now looking to Barwolf for instruction. And we might as well leave combat, leave initiative order, unless you wanted to sort of slaughter them all, but that's entirely up to you. But where do we want to take the rest of the session while we're?
I could do with finding out what the wolves' intentions are now. What how much control is
Barwolf got.
Yeah, maybe find out what they've been doing when they were at the
Where's
Ravenloft.
Ravenloft. I guess
It's
the
really
other thing is as well.
I think
sorry.
Barwolf, while he's still in his like wolf form, will obviously scream, obviously, I am now your alpha. Any who want to challenge me now may do so. And he'll like bellow it.
Yeah. So intimidation with advantage for that then, Lou. Let's just see how well you do, just with a roll.
Nat 1.
2 nat ones.
Ooh. No.
17.
17. The dire wolves still with their tails between their legs. In fact, they've rolled onto the back, showing their belly at you. I believe that's a dog thing. Is that what dogs do? Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give one of them a belly scratch?
Yeah.
You're a good boy.
Who's a massive good boy. The werewolves seem to be doing similar. Their tails have gone between their legs, and they sort of kneel down, all bowed down towards Barwolf.
I think we should take them all to the vets.
Get them all put down.
Get them all vaccinated first.
And then get
bleed.
Obviously, because Barwolf sees this, he's going to obviously shout, you're hoping that I'm going to be a kind master. And he says, but the opposite of hope is despair. And when we despair, it is because we feel there are no choices. But there are choices. If you wish to leave now, do so. Or if you wish to follow me and my companions, do so. And he's going to turn and walk back into the cave towards his friends.
Philosophical.
Very nice. So to a man/wolf, they all follow you back inside the cave. One of the wolves, one of the werewolves, will change back into human form as you're marching through, and will identify this one. We'll call him Wrathgar because that's all I can think of at the minute.
I think we've stumped him.
Yeah. And as
I called him Steve.
I was tempted with Johnny, but yeah, but we all know a Johnny. Johnny Werewolf. And he'll sort of say, "What's so Alpha? What's the plan for us all? And where are you going to move to? Out of interest, just so I can set the."
You mean into the cave?
Yeah.
It's the back area, like where the shrines are, and that kind of.
Okay, righto. So near where the Esmeralda is.
Yeah, basically to walk up to Esmeralda and say, "I did it." Good job.
Okay. So Rathgar will say, "What's so Alpha? What are we doing?"
So he'll basically turn around to Rathgar and say, "There are some others of our kind down the mountain hiding." Did she say where they were going?
Possibly.
Because there's a female, isn't there? I can't remember her name now, with the kids.
Yeah. Zulika. She they cleared out. They didn't tell you where they were going.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to say go and get them, bring them back and tell them there was one. But no, basically say, get back in here now, rest. And basically our plan going forward is to take down Strahd.
So as you mentioned this, Rathgar looks round towards the others and he'll look back to you and say, that can't happen. That won't happen.
So basically Barwolf will then properly snarl and growl at him and say, "It will happen. I am your alpha. You do as you are told."
Okay, let's have your intimidation. Another intimidation roll. This will just be normal.
Come on, imitation.
Come on, Lewis, keep going.
15.
15's reasonable. So again, it's the same response as when you won the duel. There's lots of whimpering. Rathgar, however, will say, "You know that I understand, but there's no beating the devil. He is the land. He will always be in charge. If he turns up now and tells us to jump off the cliff, that's what we have to do."
And then he'll basically stare at him and go, "That's what you will have to do." And then he'll basically put his hand on his shoulder and say, "I like you. Follow me." And then he'll basically just take him into the back, basically just the hand on the shoulder kind of thing as he's walking back into the
Where's he taking him?
the shrine.
You've been very seductive there, Lewis.
Yeah.
You're,
Well, it's that kind of 4K chaos thing, isn't it? You've taken over a bit of a chaos legion, and now you're basically somebody's got a bit of voice and a bit of brains behind them. You're going to basically tell them, "No, you're doing this," but I like that you've got a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Feistiness about you. So I think this little wolf's going to make a very good second in charge.
I thought you were going to go with spunk. I'm glad you didn't.
No, that's Valkyn's job.
Or Valkyn.
There's a female wolf available, Valkyn.
So as I tell you what, are you all settling in the sort of back cave with Barwolf and
to witness what happens?
Yeah. Okay. So the rest of the pack all head in. You all settle in for sort of to rest and recover after the fight. As you're resting, you notice coming from the south, from the cave entrance, a mist and fog roiling in from outside.
Here we go again.
As it starts to move and undulate and rise up, and you can tell it's an unnatural type mist. What do you want to do?
Get the fuck out of there.
I think Barwolf's going to turn around to his new second in command and say, "What do you know of this mist?"
He's going to say, "Don't worry, I'm casting this. Now meet me in the back of the cave."
This is we call this special time mist. He'll sort of sniff and look around, and he'll turn towards Barwolf and he'll say, "He's here. The devil is here."
Oh,
Am I going to die and I've only just joined you?
Hey, it happens to the best of us, mate. Happens to the best of us.
I'm literally a glass cannon as well.
What's the record? 2 hours.
Hit the motherfucker hard.
Don't we
I
need
want
to
to
take
say
some-
glass me 5
I was going
glass.
to say that we need to take something to Strahd, but that cocky little elf destroyed it, didn't they?
Got himself killed because of it. So you're now in this back chamber. You're surrounded by wolves and werewolves. You've got these 2 children to look after, and you're all sort of hunkered down. This mist has undulated in, and Rathgar said to you that he's here. The devil is here. What do you want to do?
Is there anything Theodor would know, being that he's lived in this area for a fair while now as a werewolf, living around Krill and that?
You would know that there is a way out the back, but you would also know that Brungrik has sealed it up. And you would also know that this, everything that Rathgar is saying, Strahd is the ancient, Strahd is the land. If he, it doesn't matter who's alpha, Strahd is in charge of the whole pack. They all fear him, all almost revere him. And if he's here now, they're going to do what he wants them to do.
How many
We can't
of
trust
us
this
are
pack.
there?
What we'll do, grab all of your tokens and stick them in this room. Let's arrange everything up a little bit.
Whereabouts we going in this one with the?
Yeah, go in the one with the shrine. Why not?
So basically, we can't trust these werewolves that Lewis has just seduced, because they're more scared of Strahd than they are of us.
That's quite true, to be fair.
That just about sums up Strahd, mate.
So basically, gonna have to slaughter all of Lewis's new mates in front of him.
But it was nice knowing him.
Can Theodor say something like, "Everyone be aware, we can't trust these werewolves and wolves. They respect power above everything else, and Strahd is their idol."
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. Just move your meat shield in. Oh, sorry, I've just moved your meat shield in now. So we'll have them all in this room. Where's the last meat shield? There it is. So we've got 3 in a row.
Damian's still
It's
outside
going
on
to
mine.
be 2 minutes. For some reason, it's not letting me move it.
Says it's
It's
like
like my.
Hold on,
Right.
Jake. Just let go for a second.
Yeah. I'll just be 2 ticks.
Valkyn's outside as well. Johnson.
yeah, amazing.
Do these wolves, now that I'm alpha, can they pretty much do anything I say unless Strahd tells them to do something different?
That's the impression.
I know exactly where you're going with this. You can ask for like a suicide pact, aren't you?
No.
Ah.
So, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, not including my meat shield and all the werewolves, there are 9 of us in total.
As in party, there's six of you and Esmeralda, 7, 8, 9, the 2 children. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Jake gone to get his Chinese.
It's a bit late, isn't it, for Chinese?
That is a late meal.
I've got a plan. To
Is
start
it more
off
cunning than a plan that's Fox stood needs cunningness at Oxford?
probably not more cunning than what you've just said. I didn't even know exactly what he said. All I heard was Oxford.
All right, I had a mouthful of food as well. I says, is it more cunning than a fox that studied cunningness at Oxford?
Well, whilst we're all sort of moving into here, Dave, I'm going to start my ritual for Leomon's tiny hut.
Okay, right.
Takes me 11 minutes.
Yeah, it does.
Right, that can hold up to 9 people.
Okay.
We're hiding in a hut. Is that the plan?
Well, I'm starting it just in case we need it. I can always disperse it.
So the mist and the fog, it's dropping down the steps, and all of the wolves are sort of stood to attention, looking towards this mist as it starts undulating down the stairs, and then it gathers around your feet, sort of like a really bad 80s pop video. And then it sort of does tend to rise up, and the corridor now is pitch black outside here, with the mist falling down the stairs. And you hear, coming from the corridor somewhere, a slow clap starts.
It's not Sam walking down the road again, is it?
And the voice that some of you have heard before. In fact, I think who's heard Strahd before? Theodor will say you haven't. You've never actually met Strahd. Valkyn and Damian have heard Strahd's voice, and I don't think anyone else has.
I'm sure, given the length of time I've been there and the encounters and battles and that, I would have.
Not to your knowledge.
Okay.
Brungrik has not.
No. And you can this voice. It goes without saying who it is. You don't need for those who haven't heard it before. And you hear Strahd say, "And here we are again, gentlemen. This time you appear to be trapped in a cave."
Can I approach Rathgar at this point and get a persuasion check? Just kind of lean in and whisper in his ear a little bit. Just say, your master approaches. You have a choice. You can either lie on your feet, standing there, die with honor, or you can live in fear of your master forever in the cave.
Okay. Roll your perception. Not perception. Persuasion.
Yes. What is going on with my computer? Yeah.
Whilst this is happening, Theodor's getting ready to cast.
Be 24, Dave.
Okay. You see, Rathgar turns towards you. He's now sort of still in human form, and he turns towards Valkyn and he says, "You've no idea. You have no idea." As you see now for the first time, just stepping around the corner, find him. Still just clapping. Strahd von Zarovich doesn't appear to be making any aggressive moves just yet. But behind Strahd, you can also see other figures moving forwards. You've seen one of them before. It's this strange veiled type female figure walking forwards, and behind him there are 3 other hooded and robed figures, sort of shambling forwards, and there's a clink as these three figures move forwards, and you can see as they step into the light that they've actually got manacles around their wrists and manacles around their ankles as they move into range. And Strahd will say, "The last time we met was a interesting encounter, to say the least. 2 of your number died. I believe that takes the total to 5 that have died so far in Barovia."
Well, see, Von Zarevich, this isn't the last time we've encountered you, have we? We saw you in Vallaki. We saw the games that you were playing with our dear Irina. And it's safe to say that your twisted game is broken.
Nice. So he'll say, "My twisted game never ends. This is all my twisted game."
What a sad little life, Jane.
I think Barwolf at this point as well will kind of look to his walls and beckon them to kind of stand behind him a little bit. So like Barwolf's kind of at the front compared to the wolves.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm trying to think what else we can do, really. And then he'll basically turn to Brungrik and basically say in a bit of a Darth Sidious voice, "Do it." Brungrik knows what I'm on about.
So
Theodor's still not trusting the wolves.
So with Damian calling Strahd out, you're trying to piss him off as much as possible, I'm assuming.
Damian's not really going for the piss off. He's just calling him out. He knows that Strahd's playing a game. He's not openly trying to challenge him to a fight. I think Damian's kind of learned from the last time that if we're fighting Strahd, it needs to be on our terms, not his.
Okay. So Strahd, he looks angered. You can tell he's not used to being spoken to the way that Damian's just spoken to him, and the way the rest of you are all sort of moving defensively seems to sort of bring him back on side, and he's amused by this. He says, "You mentioned games. Let me show you my latest pieces in this game." And he turns around to these 3 hooded figures. And he gestures to this veiled lady, and he'll say, "Oh, come on, dear. Reveal our next piece." And this woman, she sort of walks over. You can tell she's corporeal. I know it looks like she's slightly ghostly on here, but she's very, very physical. As she walks over to the first of these robed figures and pulls the hood off. And underneath the hood, you can see, it takes you a while to actually recognize what it is, but it is someone that you know, someone that you know quite well. Emaciated, pale, and looking petrified as the hood is taken off to reveal Niloren.
It's you, Johnson, again with long hair, mate.
Point then Brungrik steps out, pulls out the holy symbol of Ravenkind, and expends 5 charges, casting sunlight directed at Strahd, who is within 30 feet of him when he makes a 5-foot step.
Okay.
Barwolf at the same time shouts, "And this is the person you fear."
Let's roll initiative.
Oh, shit, bloody hell.
Whoop,
At
whoop.
least roll
That's a
better this time.
initiative. Where am I?
We're not in a position to beat Strahd. Oh, sick.
We're
I'm
not.
so glad I didn't use my action surge. Not that I needed it, but I was going to use action surge. And I'm so glad I didn't need to use my key point either.
Right, let's do it. Valkyn, you can see Brungrik moving forwards. You can see he's taking his holy symbol out. You know what he's about to do. What does Valkyn want to do?
Sort of glancing sideways, seeing him moving forwards, or seeing him starting to cast his spell. And it's like, oh shit, he's about to go down. Then, like the old Western film, kind of gunslinger pulls his crossbow out, takes a pot shot straight at Strahd.
Okay,
Like,
roll
fuck
to
this
hit.
guy.
Johnson's the first to try and hit Strahd. Let's go.
Oh dear.
11. I'm assuming that's a miss.
That's a miss. Yeah.
Bonus action, try again.
I don't know if you can. Oh, you can, can't you? Because you're. No,
Extra
you
attack,
can't.
isn't it?
Oh, okay.
No, you
Know
can.
that then.
I beg your
Yeah,
pardon. You can.
Extra attack, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter.
Two
Ding, ding.
swings and 2 misses.
So two shots from your crossbow go wild. What we'll say is that there's a blurring motion. It's almost imperceptible. Strahd seems to be moving that quick that your bolts don't go anywhere near him and fly behind. Which takes us to this veiled figure. What she
Bloody
does is she reveals the two other figures next to Niloren and Strahd. And as she reveals their hoods, you can see in front, in a similar condition to Niloren, you can see Alanonl and Rillik both stood there, looking pale and emaciated. And she grabs hold of Niloren, and you can see the veil is lifted slightly as two fangs protrude from her mouth. And she takes Niloren's head, tilts it to one side, and hovers her fangs over Niloren's.
I'm gonna call this one out now because we burned Niloren's body. There was nothing to resurrect.
That's the veiled lady's turn, and
Okay.
she's holding Niloren in a threat.
Because magic, Sam. Because magic.
Damian's turn.
Right, so Damian is now going to move. I don't want to move there. I want to move here. Because then, technically, I'm out of range of Strahd, but in range of the Veiled Lady.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna deliberately step out of the way of Strahd, and I think I've only used 25 feet of my movement.
You've got 40, mate, so you've got plenty.
So my plan is, seeing that in shock, as obviously Damian was there at Niloren's death, and fearing what the Veiled Lady is going to do to this corpse version of, or this emaciated version of Niloren, he's going to make 2 attacks against the Veiled Lady.
Okay, roll to hit.
For a nat 20!
Okay, there you go,
Yes,
Jake.
Jake.
For the piss poorest roll ever,
Oof.
13.
Okay.
I've rolled 2 1s.
Wow.
Anything else?
Yeah, he's going to hit her again with the blood whip. He's going to take 2 strikes.
Yep.
So that's a 24 to hit.
Yep.
for. Oh, that's more tasty. 15 points of damage.
Which is more than the crit.
Yeah, which is tragic, isn't it? Really.
Okay, 2 hits. So as you're slicing now, you actually reveal a little bit more of the hood, or the veil rather, from this woman, and you can see that underneath the veil it's actually an elf, clearly now a vampire spawn. And as she's leant over Niloren, you can tell that in life, she used to be quite an attractive elf woman. Which takes us to Brungrik.
I haven't finished.
Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah.
I was just double checking one thing in terms of inventory as to whether I can do something. As an action, so I can't do that. So I'm just gonna move my kind of rest of my 15 feet back into cover.
Sure. Brungrik.
So Brungrik will step out, call upon, because he didn't know who it was. Technically, he's never met him before. He doesn't know the voice.
Mm-hmm.
So he steps out as he's casting light from the day. What's it called again? Sorry, sunlight from the holy symbol of Ravenkind, which is a 30-foot radius, which encompasses them all.
Yep.
And then he just freezes. So he's sunlight bursts out, and then he just because there's that moment of hang on, Niloren's there, Strahd's there, everything that's gone on, and that's him.
Okay.
So he shit his pants.
Wow,
He's
he
bloody
wasn't
caused this,
expecting
and now
it.
he's shit his pants.
He didn't cause nothing. Barwolf goaded him.
Okay.
Is it Theodor now?
I always have you noticed a bit of a pattern with how I play D&D? I'm like Thrush. I'm that irritating cunt that really pisses everybody off.
Right, Theodor's going to move so that he's in casting range.
Sorry, Dave. I just need to move ever so slightly forward to get the veiled woman as well.
Yep.
He's going to cast Wall of Fire, which should hopefully get. It's like a 20-foot radius, so it should miss our guys. Just double check. You happy with that? It might maybe just get this wolf.
Well,
so like, if I cast it on this back guy.
What? I can't see where you're
Press
pointing,
space
mate.
bar so we can see where you're on about, mate.
Oh, sorry, mate. I thought you could see my tape measure thing. If I cast it on this guy, then this die wolf will get damaged because it's a 20-foot circle, basically.
Yeah. Are you trying to trap them in the circle?
I don't. It's just basically just says it's a 20-foot. It's a wall. I can up to 60 feet long, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick, up to 20 feet in diameter. If it's a circle.
Yeah.
So, but I can't see if it says anything about trapping them. It just damages everybody in that circle.
Yeah. So what? Basically, you create you summon fire from the ground. So you could do it in a straight line. It's kind of like crowd control, but it does damage. So you can do it in a straight line to cut your enemies off from you, so they can't get to you. You can do it in a circle to trap these people in the circle. What I will say to you is the 3 figures behind Strahd. It seems to have provoked a response to the rest of your new party, and they seem to recognise these new figures. You don't think that these figures behind, so Niloren, Alanonl, and Rillik, you don't think that they're your enemy. You think that they are the friends of your new friend.
So these guys just haven't told me who I'm bloody fighting yet.
Yeah, but you pick up on it straight away. As soon as they've revealed the half-elf, Niloren, Brungrik sprung into action, and you can tell that they sort of seem to be triggered to anger because they're friends of theirs.
But not the veiled lady.
not the Veiled Lady, and not Strahd. But you will
Okay,
also be aware of the fact that the werewolves are going to turn on you.
See, I was aware of this, and before Brungrik started kicking off with his wrath, I was actually going to cast this same wall of fire on this group of werewolves here to try and entrap them here.
Okay.
So that it just gives us a bit of defense in case they do turn against us.
Okay.
But now that I know that these guys were potentially good guys, I don't know whether to cast a fireball on the Veiled Lady.
Fireball's a massive range, mate. It explodes and it's like a 20-foot radius. I think it's 40-foot diameter or something like that.
20,
So it's only going to...
You'll hit the entire group with a fireball.
Yeah, yeah. Inflict wounds is touch. Yeah, I'm going to cast Wall of Fire here to try and entrap these dire wolves and werewolves.
Right. Gotcha. So let's do.
So if I casted it in the middle, it's a 20-foot diameter, so it should realistically get all of them. Or if I actually cast it slightly lower down, it should get them all except for this dire wolf. Oh wait, except for this. Fucking hell. That's the only one it would miss.
Yeah.
But it'd get everybody else.
Yeah, because the squares are 10 feet, so
Doesn't matter about this bat, does it? That can fly out of it.
yeah. It's you would know that it's a familiar anyway. So let's have a look.
Or in fact, should I cast? I could maybe cast a wall in that direction. It's just a bit. I'd probably get Reman in that.
Well, it has a hot and cold side.
It's up to you, mate. It's up to you.
Who's Reman again? Miller.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, mate. I'm joking. I'll cast the circle diameter one, encompassing everybody apart from this one dire wolf, and obviously this one and Rathgar.
Yeah, I can draw a 20-foot diameter circle, give or take. There.
Yeah, sweet.
How's that look?
Is that 20 foot? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So this that fella's just out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not getting those ones either, is it? But at least I'm catching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You are, yeah. Roll your damage then, dude. And I've got a dex save, I believe.
Oops. So I just press cast to add it to my spell slot.
Yep. And then the damage.
It just says it's my dex, and then 5d8.
Yeah, so 5d8 is the damage, and what's the 30 damage, right? Seven. So 2 and 3 save 30 damage. So that's.
So is that anything below my 16 dex gets hit? Anything above it wouldn't.
Yeah, the saving throw is DC. What was 16? Did you say?
16, yeah.
16. So 16 is my saving throw, and I take half damage if I pass. 2 of them have passed. That one and this one. So they take 15. Everyone else takes 30. And that one. I've got 2 direwolf saves. 17 and 6. So the first one passes 15 damage. .30. Okay. So fire erupts from the ground summoned by your new friend Theodor as Theodor moves into position here. And did you want to do anything else?
He's just going to turn to the rest of the group and say, "You can't trust these wolves and these lycans. They're not to be trusted."
Okay. Reman's turn.
Alright, Reman's going to move up to here. So I'm going to use 20 of my movement. I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs onto the Veiled Lady.
I think that's a reaction spell, Millet. So when she does something,
Oh,
and she's not
I
done
thought it was
anything reactive at the minute, not done actually attacks.
I thought that was a. All right then. I am gonna. What's the term? If I'm gonna use but not use a spell.
Oh,
in anticipation of something happening.
Yeah.
Hold an action.
Hold an action, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to do a hold. I'm going to do a holding action on a firebolt, just in case I get threatened by anything. Then, if something sort of that I don't like sort of happens towards me, sort of thing, someone makes an action towards me, then I'm going to release a firebolt in their direction. So I've just got this ball of flame spinning in my hand.
Sure. Towards if anyone's coming near you, they're
if anyone does it, or whoever is the first to do a hostile action towards me, they're just getting the firebolt released.
Okay. So Strahd's turn. So Strahd now turns around and you can see he's amused by all of this. By Brungrik stepping forward and Damian stepping in front as he sort of watches Damian go backwards and forwards, almost as if he's amused with your movements. He raises an eyebrow at the power coming from Theodor, and he'll just say, "I don't think that this is the time for this. I suggest you lay down your weapon, so we can discuss what I have in mind." What do you want to do?
I think Reman would say, "I'm sick of your fucking games. I just want to go home. I've been in this godforsaken land for long enough."
Okay.
And Barwolf's going to be like, he's going to basically just shout, because obviously he's just seen some of his new wolf pals get set on fire. He's going to be like, this is it. Now's the time to choose. You need to die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands. And he'll basically like growl at Strahd.
Okay, so you're going to try and sort of inspire them with their persuasion check.
Yeah,
that sound about right. So as he's saying this to you, you can see that he's the side of his face where this brilliant sunshine is starting, touching his skin. It looks as if it is burning him. You can see a little blister appears on his forehead and that side of his face where Brungrik's sunlight is. Roll your persuasion then, Lou.
Oh, fucking hell. That nice speech as well.
Yes, that's unfortunate.
Said it in a squeaky voice, didn't he?
So Strahd will say, "So be it," and he will let's go big. He'll turn towards Theodor and says, I see your fire. And he starts gesturing. And this small ball of fire appears in his hand. He says, I'll raise you more. And he throws this ball of fire. And it lands right next to Barwolf. And he's going to cast Fireball. So it's a 20-foot
level
radius sphere. So I want to get this right. So what I'm going to do is
While Dave's working it out, so with my hold action, does that mean that I could potentially chuck my fireball back at Strahd and use my shield as a reaction?
yes, you can throw your firebolt at Strahd if you wanted to.
But with this fireball, can I use my shield as well, or is that a separate? Because that's a reaction to something that's happened to me.
Well, shield won't protect you from a fireball.
Shield only protects you against things that are going to roll against your AC. But
yeah, so as he's making an action against you, and you can see Strahd, you can throw your firebolt at him.
Okay, yeah.
Also, Dave, how come his fireball's got a bigger radius than my firewall?
Well, because they're different
I know
spells.
it's not about the size; it's how you use it.
It is, yeah. So your fireball spell will do the same as this. So when you cast fireball, we'll be doing pretty much the same as this when you cast it, just to see who you get.
Is that about what I mean? Is that gets a 20-meter diameter, doesn't it? The fireball.
No, radius.
Oh yeah, diameter and radius are different. That's maths.
Yeah.
I'll be quiet.
Mathematics.
Are you going to roll to?
I've upset Jake with that. Look, is that? Oh no, it's not Jake.
No,
That's
it's
left. Miller's
Johnson.
upset.
Oh, it's Miller. Miller's gone. Right, everyone in this blast area, which is basically all of you, needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
X.
Oh,
not 20. Get in there.
I've done a dex check, not
it
save.
just means we only save half.
11.
Can I use my uncanny dodge with a area
You will
of
be able to,
effect?
yeah.
Thank fuck for that.
Mm.
Oh, Damian's had a naughty throw.
Naughty.
That's what she said.
Okay, so let's have a look at these dexterity saving throws. So, Barwolf, you take 19 points of damage.
Did we have a short rest before we saw Strahd?
No.
But
No.
we'd long rested, hadn't we?
No,
it's
'cause
after the
obviously
fight with the werewolves.
got a fight.
Oh yeah. We haven't rested.
So Valkyn, using your uncanny dodge, that you take half then, don't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, so you take, what did I just say? 19. Yeah, 19's half. Theodor, you take 19. Damian, you take... Oh, wait a minute. No, Theodor, you take 38. Damian, you take 19. Brungrik rolled a 4, you take 38.
I've got favoured by the gods because it is quite a lot of damage, and I'm pooing my pants a little bit. Can I roll favoured by the gods? So it's
You can. You add
it's to get
2d4 to the save.
Yeah. So I'll just tick that to say I've used it because I have to do a short rest.
Yeah. You're right, Miller.
So I add 6 to it.
Miller's just thinking, not another character.
17 total.
Does
it reduce it at all?
Safety. 1 second. No.
Shizer.
Yeah.
38 damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Eek.
It's all right. We've got some healing potions. If somebody can get to use them.
I think Miller's tried. Are you there, mate?
He's still upset about my diameter and radius.
Oh, my whole lot.
I think I've got like an ounce of intelligence, but it turns out no.
Oh, mate, maths is not my thing. Not by any stretch of
I
the
thought you were
imagination.
going to say something. I thought you were going to say something different, Lars. I thought you were going to say something along that. I thought I had a reasonable sized penis, but then.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Jake. So
Oh, that's okay. As long as it just was.
I only ever undersell that because anything extra is a bonus, isn't it? If you go in
Plus, nobody
small, then
Yeah, I was going to say nobody can be disappointed, can they?
yeah, exactly.
I think we've lost Miller.
Sorry, he's not talking, is he?
oh lordy.
No, Miller.
He's doing an angry German kid, isn't he, on his keyboard? Like,
9999999.
it's always me and Miller that keep dying. It's sad.
Dave, are you coming to Burton tomorrow?
What time?
11 o'clock when the store opens, mate.
I didn't realise it was tomorrow. I'd cancel my prompt course.
It's unlikely. Does it matter? Do you need to know?
No. So I just said there would be a couple of us just to learn kill team and stuff.
Because you and Tom are going anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
You going to go and see Sam?
Yeah.
The manager at Burton, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you working tomorrow, Lou?
Yeah. I'm on
Yeah.
9 till 6.
What about you, Shaky?
I'm on a prompt course, otherwise I'd have been down.
All right, dude.
I went there today anyway. Went and had a chat with him.
Yeah, he's running an intro game for me. Well, I asked to run an intro game so I can get to grips with the rules.
He was
But
running one
Dave-
today. He was trying to get me to buy Into the Dark Kill Team box. And as much as I like the Naval Breach Marines, or the Naval Breach Officers, or whatever they're called, I'm not spending 130 quid just to sit in the corner of my bedroom.
There are
So,
so many
Yeah.
of the Crute segment of stuff on eBay. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Are there really?
Yeah.
You can buy loads of shit on eBay. And the thing is for kill team as well, like I've bought, you can get enough models on eBay to, and then maybe.
We've been hit by like an electromagnetic pulse or something because
Something's got wrong.
both Miller and Jake are both having issues now.
No,
Yeah, the weather kicking off outside.
Well, I think can you hear?
You break
On
up.
and off.
Miller, make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
all right, cool.
Do his zombies need to do it as well?
No, they're just dead.
Oh. They're gone.
They're dead, boy.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Are you
Oliver's
doing a
done good
narrative
job
game?
of his Marines, you know.
What's that?
Oliver's done a good job of his Marines. My brother.
What's he getting?
He's
What's he making?
he's doing some Ultramarines at the minute.
Get him to Lincoln. Miller,
yeah,
you
he's
take
doing-
38 points of damage.
Only 38.
Only 38.
Yeah, only 30. Yeah, I got the same, mate. And I tried to cheese it as well.
Do I need to roll for my fireball?
Yes. Is that Jake? Yeah, Jake down.
I wonder if it's the weather because I can hear it outside.
Yeah,
it's
it's a bit moist, isn't it?
Are you playing a narrative game tomorrow, Sam?
No, it's an intro game.
Just the intro game. Because I'm off, but it's just Burton's like the other side of the world from me.
I think I missed.
Ah, yeah, you do. Okay, so I'm aware of the time actually, Mello. How long? How much? Do you want to? How much longer have you got?
Well, at the earliest, when we're at a spot to take a rest, that would be, or to take a pause.
Okay. Should we go to the end of the round then? So that takes us to. But Lewis has got. Lewis has turned into a Chaos Marine. Oh no, there he is.
If only.
Right, Barwolf's turn.
All right. What can I do?
Nothing.
I'm going to cast. Or am I? Or am I? Right. Move 10 feet. I'm going to cast Blood Maledict on Strahd. And I'm going to cast the Blood Curse of Binding, but I'm going to amplify it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take. Well, I'm going to roll a d6. Lovely. I take 1 point of damage. And Strahd needs to make a strength saving throw, please.
Okay. 20.
Okay, he passes. Okay, so yeah, that's it. End of my turn.
Okay.
Oh,
What? It doesn't do anything then?
No, not now. So basically, he needs to make a strength throw, and if it failed less than a 15, he'd basically become bound and unable to react.
Right. Okay. So Werewolf number 1 is going to flank round Reman. Werewolf 2 will move to there. Werewolf 3 there. There. 25. 30. Let's have a minute.
Dave.
Yeah.
I believe any of those have passed through the wall because it's only a foot deep thick. So if any of them are stood in the middle and have passed through the wall, they've got to take damage.
I'll double check, but I think I could have just asked you this actually, shouldn't I?
It says one side of the wall selected by you when you cast this spell deals 5d8 damage. Each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet on that side or inside the wall, a creature takes damage. So it doesn't say anything about them crossing the wall to take more damage.
So when a creature takes the same damage when it enters for the first time on its turn, and all of them started in it, or when it ends its turn inside there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I suppose it's just if they stayed in there, they'd carry on getting damaged.
Yeah. So there's going to be some attacks flying around. Let's do the NPC first. So it's going to be Esmeralda first. No, actually 2 misses. Right, Reman. 3 werewolf attacks on you. 13 to hit Reman. That misses, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'm going to cast shield though, just in case anything else wants to if I've got 3 coming my way, or
Okay.
have I got to wait till?
Well, you're best waiting because the first one rolled poorly, but 2 times. So the second one, it's a crit. It's 24, so you can't shield against it because it is a crit.
Okay.
So that's 15 damage, and the second one is a 16.
15. And what's the third one?
16 to hit.
I'm gonna use my shield on that one.
Shield that one, right? Okay. And then 2 more attacks, 12 and 8. So you just take that 15 damage.
Okay.
And then we've got 2. I'm going to do Wrathgar on Valkyn. 23 to hit Valkyn. 7 damage. And 12 to hit Valkyn misses. We've got 2 werewolves on Brungrik. First one, natural 1, and rolls a 2. Wow. Second one on Brungrik, 19.
No.
And a natural 1. Christ. We've got
Daylight.
2, 3 on Barwolf. 7, 5, 10, 13, 14, and 15. All miss Barwolf. Direwolves. This one needs to move out, and they've got to move 40. So he's gonna lope through his friends to there. This one again, he's starting within the fire, so he's not taking damage. He can move 40. Struggle to get in anyway. Needs to stay out of the fire. So move him to there. It's just 1 attack from the direwolf. We'll say on Theodor, which will be, he's got advantage. Right, rolls 22 to hit Theodor.
AC of 14.
Yeah, that's 10 points of piercing damage to you then, dude.
Yikes.
And Esmeralda's turn. She, as Strahd's fireball exploded, I didn't explain this to you because we had some.
Sorry, how much did you say? It was 22?
10.
No, I mean 22
to hit
on his attack.
Yeah.
All right, sound. No worries.
Yeah, you can't shield that. So as Strahd's fireball exploded, he killed these 2 children. There's now 2 crisp children burnt to a crisp on the floor as they shrieked and screamed and died. Esmeralda's now turning round and she's looking exasperated and she's looking round to say to you all, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't fight him! Don't fight him here! We can't win! We can't win this fight!"
And Barwolf does an easy at it and is a bit like, yeah, boy. Yeah, cool.
So,
Dave, how's the fireball killed the kids?
How? With fire.
Yeah. But it's only a 20-foot diameter.
Yeah.
He's the DM.
It's there, mate. The kids were there.
You've
Dave,
you've done that as a 20-foot radius.
Fireball's 20-foot radius, mate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Diameter, 20-foot radius.
Oh, apologies.
That's all right. No, you're trying to save children, mate, and you're quite right to do so.
Because in my head, it was a 20-foot diameter. I'm thinking, they're 30 feet away from me. You either kill the kids or you don't hurt me.
Yeah, no, fireballs. Awesome.
Bigger than I thought it was.
So that takes us to the start of round 2. And it's 20 past 11 now. What do you want to do?
Kill this motherfucker.
What campaign are you running next?
The chant is for one more round. Valkyn, what are you doing?
Are we going for it? Are we?
One more round. One of us. One of
Okay.
us. Bibble bubble, one of us.
We're seeing that we're sort of outgunned, outnumbered. Valkyn's
No
all
need to
about
be pessimistic,
self-preservation.
dude.
But he was all about self-preservation, isn't he? So
We know this game. If we carry on now, then we've got until the next game to make new characters.
yeah, I'm taking Valkyn to the end.
Well, Theodor's literally on his last legs, so if he could die now, that'd be great, because then I'll re-roll a new character.
Dash.
What's the sketch with a what's it called? A opportunity attack.
What's what?
What's the deal with an opportunity attack? I know Valkyn's used them in the past. No, I've never used them until now.
Opportunity attack. If someone's next to you in combat and they move away, then you can have an opportunity attack as a reaction against them.
Right. Okay. So I can't use it as a. Can I use that as a reaction as well? If they attack me, I can use that as well.
No, it's only if they're running away from you.
Oh, okay.
And they don't disengage.
But for example, Miller, if you were in a fight and somebody attacked you and you wanted to use your shield as a reaction, you couldn't then take an opportunity attack because you used your reaction to your shield.
Yeah, but could I use it as a do like a melee attack in as a reaction to their attack?
No.
All right. Okay. Cool. Only if they run past me.
Yes.
Or okay, got it.
Or like they don't disengage when they try and leave combat with you. If they just try to move away from you, they would provoke an opportunity attack.
All right. Got you.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, where are we going?
Oh no, he died.
I guess I'm going to try and turn to Strahd and ask him of what your intent to kill is here. Then what is your intent?
He sort of turns and looks at you and says, well, I have no intent to kill you yet. This is not the time for killing. This is the time for playing. Lay down your weapons, and I will tell you the game.
So, well, I guess I'm keen that this is going to play his game. Use his weapons.
Okay.
Do you like to play a game?
So the veiled lady who now has control of Niloren will drag him in front to here, and she will stand behind him, and she's still holding Niloren out in front now, and she's poised with her fangs over his neck as she's looking out towards you all.
Don't forget the daylight.
She takes 20 points of damage. Thanks, Sam. So again, you see daylight affecting these spawn of the vampire. Strahd will continue now. It's Damian up next, but Strahd will say, "I've brought these pawns here as a demonstration of my power. I have sent my minions out through the mists to bring back a holy man." And he's sort of cleaning a bit of lint and dust off his sleeve as he's talking. It's amazing what you can find when you look hard enough. Underneath the stone that crushed Niloren, I found 3 teeth, which were enough for me to bring him back. The game, then, if you wish, an exchange. 3 of you, 3 of these. He points towards Niloren, Rillik, and Alanonl.
Playing anymore.
I think like Barwolf being the honourable person he is, and he'll say 2 for 3, and I'll gladly give myself.
Damian would look back at the group and he'd say, "These are not the people we remember. I hate to break it, but, I remember these 3 men fondly. But look at them; they are withered, decrepit versions of themselves, and each one of them would hate to be known that they were in this form. I say we end them. I'm taking his bitch down now, and as he's gonna move in to try and make some more attacks against the the vampire spawn woman."
Okay. To this, as Damian steps forward, Strahd just leans forward a little bit and takes the rest of the cowl off this vampire spawn, this veiled lady, and he'll say, "Careful now. Don't destroy Niloren's mother." And as he reveals the hood, it's the veiled lady is. He'll say, "Come, Aerith. Protect yourself." And as he says this, you can see Niloren turn around and look, and he's looking straight at his mother, now turned into a vampire spawn. And Damian can see the look in Niloren's face.
The question is, does he have 2 eyes or 1?
2.
Oh,
Nah, man, fuck the witchcraft.
See, we would have offered ourselves if you brought Lancelot back, Dave.
Okay, it would have been your only TPK. We'd have all given ourselves to Lancelot.
2. I've not. He didn't actually answer Barwolf. He will just simply say, "No. 3 for 3, or none."
Nah, that's it. I'm taking her down. Niloren wouldn't want this for his. And you can. I imagine the horror on his face is showing that.
Yeah.
Reman shouts out, I'm with you, brother.
I imagine the horror on
I play with
face.
the dead. I don't want to be dead."
I imagine the horror on Niloren's face is emulated in my own.
So Damian's turn.
So Damian's gonna move. He's gonna do his clever moving again. He's gonna move the 5. Ooh. Yeah, it's not gonna matter. So I'm gonna move there. I'm gonna make an attack.
As you move forward, you can see Niloren now. It's the first time you've heard Niloren speak. And he'll say, "Damian, no, what are you doing? No, it's my mother."
She's not your mother. Crack the whip. 17.
17 hits. Roll your damage.
Damian's a broken man.
For 40.
14 hits. 14 damage, yeah.
Another one, 26 to hit.
26 hits.
For 13 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah.
How's she looking?
She's looking ropey, mate.
Action surge!
Okay.
For a 31 to hit.
31 hits.
For 14 points of damage.
Okay. How do you want to kill Niloren's mother?
So Damian's going to just be like, it's almost like probably the first time anybody's actually seen Damian, like, there's a fury coming to Damian that nobody's seen before. He's fucked off that Strahd's come and toyed with him the first time, and he remembers Yesterhill and the loss of his good friends Niloren, Rillik, and Alanonl later. He almost just like pulls a blank, and with the fury on his face, he's there just like pulling like big cleaves with his whip. And as he pulls the last whip, he wraps it round the neck and he snaps it straight back and tears the head straight off the shoulders.
Naughty.
Naughty indeed. Anything else from Damian?
So he's going to. I've still got one more attack. So I'm going to bonus action disengage Step of the Wind so that Niloren can't provoke an opportunity attack against me. Because if Niloren is undead, I don't know what Niloren's alliance is at the moment because he doesn't look familiar. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to step back out the way here. Going to move within like my, because I've still got range on that werewolf there. So I'll make my final blood whip attack against that werewolf. Try and save 15. For 14.
14 does hit though.
For 14 points of damage.
Nice when you're hitting on a 2, Jake, isn't it?
It is nice.
Okay, that's you done.
And I'm just going to finish my movement off by coming right up here out the way of like Strahd.
Okay, so as Aerith's head is torn from her body, Niloren just sags. What are you doing? And he just breaks down on the floor with his chains, and you can see his shoulders as he's sobbing. Brungrik's turn.
So obviously it's been quite emotional for me the last 20 minutes or so. So Brungrik obviously had the initial shock, saw Niloren, seen Strahd, he's heard the revelation, and he's heard Damian, and it snapped through, and he's remembered seeing Niloren dead and everything. And he's been in a similar situation to the one the group is in now. So he calls upon Pelor and initially casts Radiance of the Dawn. So everything that is hostile to me, Dave, everything, because it's all within range, needs to pass a 16 Constitution save.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 12. What's the damage, Sam?
So they've got to pass a 60. Yeah, they've got to pass a con save, DC 16.
Damn, I was doing Dex. Right. 2. $16. That's terrible. Only one of the werewolves passed.
That's including Strahd.
Strahd, Constitution saving throw. Yeah. 2 direwolves. And does it say anything hostile to you?
Each hostile creature within 30 feet that doesn't have total cover must make a con saving throw.
Right. Roll your damage.
So it's 2d10 plus 7. Half on a save. So 22 points of radiant damage.
22. Right. Okay.
Nice one, Sam.
Yeah.
Brungrik clearing the battlefield.
That is a really good spell, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just that con save. Obviously, whoever passed only takes 11.
Yeah. Well, you're killing them. I'm just going to stick dead on, even though they've still got a few hit points left. 22. Not quite with that one then. So. Been damaged for the first time. Strahd. And that werewolf there. Okay, anything else?
And then as a move action, he's going to charge towards Niloren and place his shield over him and cover him.
Okay.
I know I'm going to take some attacks.
Yeah. Okay. Theodor.
Quick question about Scorching Ray. So you create 3 rays and hold them at targets within range. You can hurl them at either one target or several. It's 2d6 fire damage. When you cast it above 3rd level, and I've got it at 4th level, so 1 above that, you get 1 additional ray. Oh no, 1 additional ray for each slot above 2nd, so that I'm assuming 2 extra rays. So would that be 5 rays?
No. So it's a 2nd level spell, and it does 3 rays.
Yeah.
So if you cast it at 3rd level, it does 4 rays. 4th level, it does 5 rays.
Yeah.
Oh, did you say for that? Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So could I cast, and would that be 5 rays at 2d6 per ray?
Yeah.
Because that's beastly if it is.
It is. Oh no, he's dead. Yeah. No, it is. Yeah.
And I can also just designate 5 different targets or 1 target and get all 5 of them.
Correct. Just going to move some dead wood out of the way. Yeah.
Are these werewolves looking to attack us as well?
Yeah.
Cleared the field.
Yeah. The werewolves are.
So I'm going to target. I'm going to move actually a little bit. Because it's 120 foot range on this anyway. Hide behind Whipman up here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to target 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's the 5 weakest ones there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotcha. Okay. So we'll do top down then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to roll to hit, I believe.
I do. 21.
That hits. What do you want to do? Do you want to roll to hit all of them, or hit and damage?
Should I do my 2d6 per one?
Yeah, sure.
'Cause I can do that. Also, just quickly, if I'd have rolled twin spell on this, would I have been able to hit 10 targets?
No, twin spell, you can only twin a single target spell.
Okay, cool. So like a fireball twice.
No, because fireball's AoE. Something
Oh,
like firebolt, or something handy like haste or a buff. So instead of just hasting one person, you can actually haste 2. So twin spell. Oh, he's dead, by the way.
Or inflict wounds, which is a touch spell and a single target.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
But it's like hefty damage.
Yeah.
Cool,
Or
that's 1.
healing word.
Or healing word, yeah. So I can do a couple of people.
You need to
8 damage.
roll to hit every time.
Oh yeah, sorry. 24.
24 kills that one. We'll use your 8 damage, yeah. So hit
Sound.
next one.
12.
Just hits.
Then 7 damage.
Dead. Wow.
20.
20 hits.
7 damage.
He was on 6.
Oh, nice
Beautiful.
one.
So last one.
It's going to be a miss, isn't it? Oh no, 26.
26 hits.
And 9 damage.
All dead?
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Theodor don't miss.
That's awesome.
He's just got them delicate fingers. He's got these piano fingers.
Let's get rid of that dead wood then. Anything else from Theodor?
I've not got really anything else I can do, I don't think. Is there anywhere else I can get more out? I'm out of line of sight from Strahd, unless he moves, and it's just these werewolves really. That's it.
Okay. Reman's turn.
Right, I am going to I am going to use, as a bonus action, Blessing of the Raven Queen.
Okay.
Okay, which is going to teleport me up to 30 foot to where I can be seen, which I intend to teleport myself to here.
Fair dues.
Okay, and I am then... That makes me resistant to all damage until the start of my next turn. I am then going to cast a fireball, to where I was stood. So
Yep,
that would
you can get all 4 of these werewolves.
Yeah, so I believe it was going to be here.
Well, that would get. Because you can't sculpt with this, lad, can you? So you're going to have to be careful.
Yeah. So I roughly measured it out. So
yeah.
Barwolf won't get in. So yeah, I'm going to cast a fireball there.
Okay. So your Dex DC.
2 fireball.
11 doesn't matter. The highest I rolled was 12. So
so needed a 15.
Righto. So maximum damage to everyone. Roll your damage. And you're casting it at 4th level.
26.
26. 1, 2. 2 dead. 26. You are pretty powerful now. That was a whole flock of pack of werewolves. Right, Strahd's turn. Okay, he can see it. Right. Okay, let's do this then, Sam.
Do what?
Strahd can see you in front of Niloren, and he can see the devastation around, and he'll say, "Interesting. This isn't exactly what I had planned for this little game, but I will take." Oh, wait a minute. He needs to take his damage first, so the sunlight is still burning against him. And he'll say, "I will take something from this day." And he'll point a finger towards Niloren, and you see this wave of black, purplish, greenish energy wash and wave over Niloren.
If it's a roll to hit, I'll cast Warding Flare.
Not Niloren. It's not a roll to hit. It's against Brungrik. Constitution saving throw, please.
Where is Brungrik? I can't see him on the map.
On
He's
top of
hiding.
Niloren.
Oh yeah, holding his hand, seeing him out.
25.
25 is a pass. So you take half damage. So you take 21 points of necrotic damage. As you feel the moisture leave, moisture, life, and warmth leave your body as this necrotic energy waves over you. What else shall we do then?
Dave, before we carry on,
yeah,
because I killed those werewolves and what have you, I can use, I've got Grim Harvest. So once per turn, when you kill one or more creatures with a spell of 1st level or higher, you regain hit points equal to twice the spell's level or 3 times its level. If the spell belongs to School of Necromancy, you don't gain this benefit if killing constructs or undead.
Yep. So it wasn't a necromancy spell, but you do get
2 times.
It was just 2, so that's 16 hit points, isn't it?
Yeah.
For those 2. Cool.
That's annoying, Sam. If you're 5 feet further, I could have used a reaction to give Dave some disadvantage.
He was casting a spell with no hit, though.
Right, it's no hit, isn't it?
So Strahd will move away. And as he sort of points towards Brungrik in this wave of necromantic energy rolls over him, he sort of turns and he says, "This has been intriguing. I'll have to step up my defences. Until the next time, gentlemen." And he sort of steps back and disappears around this corner. That takes us to Barwolf's turn.
Barwolf's going to get us in another bloody fight here, isn't he?
Barwolf's going to shout, "You pussy!" Yeah, right. What I can do? I may as well just attack this werewolf that's next to me, for shits and giggles.
Yep.
25.
It's
11 plus my D6 because it's not been a. Has it been an hour yet?
no, mate, no.
5.
16.
No, he's not dead yet. I'll use my bonus action then and have another go at him.
Go on then.
Oh, 10.
No, that misses. That's a shame.
That's
That's
because
the
the
first miss, isn't it?
dickhead rolled the wrong one. That's why.
Hey.
I rolled me predatory strength instead.
Okay, what's your bone?
I get another 3. Don't matter.
Did you roll them wrong on both of them?
No, on the first one I rolled the right one, but on the bonus action, the dex one's on the top, whereas on the actual attack, the strength one's on the top. So I just pressed the bottom one by accident. It's only another +3, but well, yeah, anyway, another 3.
Well, 13 hits.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
It don't matter. No, it's my fuck up. No, leave it.
Okay. So Esmeralda's turn. What I'll do then, because we're 10 to midnight, aren't we? So we'll okay. Well, this I'm gonna what I'm gonna do. Esmeralda, now that Strahd's decided to retreat, Esmeralda will sort of swing around, with a rapier and a hand axe, and she'll sort of dispatch the last 2 werewolves. And but with your sort of powers combined, you manage to finish the other werewolf off without too much of a problem. And you're now left in this cave. With fire burning from the firewall, from Theodor's firewall, smoke and mist and dead bodies left, right, and centre, and a smell of burnt hair, with Niloren, Alanonl, and Rillik all allegedly in your custody, which is where we'll leave the session. And we'll pick it up next time.
Okay. Good game, that.
Was good, yeah.
See you in
Glad you
another
guys
4
didn't kill
months.
me.
So Niloren, Alanonl, and Rillik, Lars, previous characters that these guys have had that have died.
That's why you're so attached to him. I just thought they were just like characters you've met. I thought Sam really likes this Niloren guy.
It's his son, basically.
It's in essence
okay.
his adopted son.
And Damian's just killed his mum.
It wasn't
Brutal.
it.
She had bad dental hygiene.
Who Niloren thought was dead anyway.
So are
She's
they?
dead? The technicality of it is he is dead.
So have they been reincarnated by the Veiled Lady, but are they basically zombies?
It's Strahd Mumbo Jumbo.
We'll pick that up next time, shall we?
Rod